Good evening. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dice Illusions and our ongoing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition campaign, Fool's Landing, set in the Forgotten Realms in the Inner Sea. My name's Jamie. I'm going to be the Dungeon Master this evening, and we are joined by a full rack here tonight of players all the way across the board. I'm going to go left to right and have you introduce yourself and your player, if you would, starting with Tim. Good evening.
I'm Tim. I'm playing Griff. He is a 4th level ranger. Appears to be human.
All right, perfect. And next up, we have the return of Wayne. Good evening.
The loving appears to be human. I like that line. I am Sea Hag, an aquatic sea elf cleric of the 4th level, and
Perfect.
excited to be here. Let's say that. And I forgot my candy. I'll be right back.
Welcome back. Good to have you. Next up, I have Brandon.
Hello, I am Brandon. I am playing Nod, a thief, Minotaur thief, subclass Shadow. Nice to see everyone again.
Good to see you. And next up, I have Chris. Good evening. Oh, you might be muted, Chris. I'm not hearing you yet. Anyone else hearing Chris?
Nope.
Not hearing you.
Nope.
We'll come back to you, Chris. If it starts working, we'll skip back to you. But let me skip Chris for now and skip ahead to Molly. Good evening.
Hi, my character died last session, Immithra, so I'm Tradition of Old. My hireling, Gregor Carrywell, 1st level fighter from Dragons.
Perfect. Perfect. Good to see you. Next up, I have Adam.
Great. Hey, I'm still plugging along with Bartholomew, a 5th level human cleric of Lyra.
Awesome. And then, Chris, are you able to hear us yet? I think you've been able to hear us. We're just not hearing you. Yeah, you're hearing me, but we're not hearing you. Something happened on probably Discord because we see you fine otherwise. We'll see if I'm sure you can get that going, but everyone knows that Chris is playing Kurza, the Elven Mage. I think he's level 5th or 6th. We'll take a look at that next and get a big quick check-in on the party makeup here so that everybody can see. I'm just going to display this summary. I think it's a better way to look at it. We have Kurza is level 5. Immithra, I have Immithra in here, but I made Gregor level 2. I feel like he should be at least half your level at all times. So if you're advancing, he'll advance at half your level at least. And level 1 fighter isn't going to last long here, unfortunately. And I feel like even just breathing the same air as a Mithra would get you to 2nd level after a while. Bart is 5th level priest. Griff is 4th level? Yeah, 4th level still, is that right? Where are you at overall? Okay, yeah, you're not terribly far from next level. Nod is 5th level thief, and Saharn is 4th level priest. So that's the makeup. We've got 4th to 5th level all across the board here, minus Gregor, who's now picking up the trident and taking over for Immithra. We'll do a recap of that. Might be news to some of you. Last session, I think, made some big waves, so to speak. Does anyone want to fill in the group on what unfolded as I think you explored a few more rooms. I'll switch over to the map. Let's see. It's this one. You are currently on the 4th floor, in fact, and I need to get tokens out here for those of you who weren't in there last session. Let me see if I can find them. I think ultimately what happened was the group confronted Varodis. They found a way in to the door and skipped by a couple of the other rooms to try to get to him instead, and were able to successfully get to him. And a battle ensued that took both his life and Immithra's life. And that's
Bad news.
where things ended, was pretty much right as his life force was dissipating and Immithra lay dead next to him. And so that was right where we're going to pick up here today, but does anyone else have any other details they want to add to what they recall from last session as you see the map now? I'm trying to get everybody's tokens out. One sec.
I will attempt to. I believe in 17G, we walked in there with the plants and the bowls. I believe Bart was able to detect magic and discovered some of the plants. I believe one of them was blood moss, and we got a few of those. We discovered that the bowls were magical, and they were some kind of alteration magic. We got down here counterclockwise into 17F, and I noticed it was like very spooky. Shadows were moving around a lot more than the normal rooms. Hello. And at that point, we concocted a plan of using rope, net, and wet cloth to get rid of this magical sigil that was drawn in chalk or something and fill the room and essentially not have to actually fight all the shadows or whatever was prompting that. Other than that, I think that was about it from my session.
Yep. Okay. I think in the battle, during the battle with Varodis, you confronted him. Let me show you his character sheet, if I can find him. Oh, there. This was Varodis, who he really threw a couple of his biggest spells out there during the encounter. Ultimately, the spell that I believe that claimed Immithra's life was Cloud Kill. She had failed her initial savings throw and then used I think it was the last astonishing fortune to reroll and failed the reroll. So I think that was right where we ended. At this point, Kurza and Griff and Saharn will emerge on the scene, and you'll see in this space, this is a circular arrangement of stone chairs that are facing the center of the corridor where Varodis had and was basically engaged in a spell when the door cracked open. He seemed to have some type of fabric connecting, almost like a magical kind of fabric in the air that you could see that was connecting him with this circle of elder elves, Seychelles elves. This was disrupted, of course, when you entered the room, and that's when the battle ensued. And now that he lay on the ground, you see his body turning to vapor in front of you. And as I described before, this sort of almost tapestry of magic that you can see in the room that's so powerful, it begins to start to dissipate like thread by thread, as if you could see a cloak where a thread were being pulled from it, and it's slowly pulling apart. And as that begins to happen, you start to hear some creaking and cracking around you, and within the structure itself, almost like a very slight rumble to it. And
if the tower's falling apart around us,
yeah,
we're about to be crushed.
So I was gonna have you all make, let's see, let me double check your party proficiencies.
I'll be right back. I have milk chocolate all over my fingers.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
there you are.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right.
Welcome, Chris. I introduced you anyway. Or Kurza.
Yeah.
But I was just actually going to have you do a spellcraft check. So I'm glad you just got through there.
Yeah, all right. Let me pull myself up as I fade into existence. Or fade in out of the mist, so to speak.
Right.
Okay. You said spellcraft, right?
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, I think everybody
All right.
can see this fabric of magic in the room that's unwinding in front of you, and it seems to be bound to the life force of these elves that are strapped to these chairs. I say strapped, they're not physically strapped there, but they seem as if they're stuck in their chairs, right? And that somehow or other Varodis was able to manipulate their life force and was using it to keep himself alive. Throughout the rest of the tower, you suspect that has a big part of why you've been aging and seeing your party aging quicker than normal, as you feel as if just the sort of outer range of this life suction, it was, affecting folks as they were ascending towards it. And so you start to get a sense of how he's stolen time and life from this group and has been able to keep himself empowered and alive and in control of this tower. But he's no longer, and his robes and other things lay on the ground as you're hearing this cracking. And I think Kurza would have the best sense of this. Everybody would start to realize, okay, whatever's holding out the water is possibly affected by the death of Varodis. But I think, Kurza, you can really quantify it to say that you think you probably have about 5 to 10, somewhere between 5 to 10 minutes before the entire structure is filled with water. So that's how we're going to start the session. I'm going to put you guys on a turn order, and you'll be racing against the clock as the tower is going to be filling with seawater, and you can decide how you want to make your escape or combat the situation. So that's where we'll pick up. So you guys can interact here in this room. Before we start the clock, so to speak, I'll give you a quick list of what you were able to find. I think this.
What was in the upper room? That's the above this, or is this the highest level?
This is the top floor as far as in the tower. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we appeared in this little green stuff in the center, right? Okay.
You left 3 doors unexplored, and where to? Where's getting out of here? What is exiting the tower? We're underwater now, right?
No, you're not underwater right now. Basically the magic that protects this tower from the sea is similar to, I was describing, threads in a cloak, and it's slowly unwinding. It's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes for it to unwind. And during that time, some water will be getting in, but you'll still be able to move about for some time before you're underwater and having to deal with that.
We should pass out those water breathing or longer breath herbs. We should collect what we can and attempt to. Nod would shudder at the thought, but either go down or try to find a way to the surface.
Yep. Since you all may drown, I'll be fine. But sorry to say.
Bart does have one water breathing spell.
I've got one water breathing potion.
Oh, I might have a potion too, yeah.
That makes 3 of y'all okay.
The water breathing spell, you divide it up among multiple targets. It also divides the duration. So I've got 5 hours of water breathing to spread out.
Real question is, what is getting out look like? Are we going into that down below? Because we came in the front door, but then the tower was immersed in the ocean. So that's not good for you guys.
Yeah. If there's nothing waiting for us above, it might be dangerous to go up as it would be down.
Forget about Balin. Balin?
Baden. Yeah. So you're right. You could ascend to the surface and try to hope that you can see something or find something. That might be difficult. Or you can go. Remember when you looked out the side of the tower, there was an opening on the side of the tower, and you could see on the seafloor below the tower that there was a hole or a cave in the bottom of the seafloor where there were bubbles coming from. That might be another thing that you would be thinking about in this moment. Not to mention there are stairs on the first floor that descend into the water. So there's a couple things you could try to do there. I'll mention also within the tower, on and in some of the places you've found scrying devices and other things like that. Those could be other things that you might tap into given the limited amount of time you have. I don't know how much of that you would realistically be able to do, but that's where the clock will start ticking once you guys decide what action you want to take. But you can go ahead and roll initiatives individually for this, and then we'll step through it and give you guys a chance to all decide what you'd like to do.
Don't forget, there's the secret exit that in the very bottom floor.
That's what he was
So-
talking about, the stairway down.
Yeah, that may be the easiest way out, but
Right.
how long would it take
Well, we
to
have the
memorize?
two guys down in the bottom room next to that exit, right? Still there?
Yeah, as far as you know. You haven't seen them in some number of days probably, but they should have had enough supplies to get through to this point.
How long would it take to memorize a third level spell?
I think isn't it like
8 hours.
15 minutes per level.
it's per level? It's something per level.
That's like 15 minutes per level.
Yeah,
Is that right?
let's see.
Yeah, I don't know if because I could swap a fireball for water breathing for somebody.
What level spell is it? 15 minutes per spell level. So 45 minutes.
Only if I sit there with a water breathing spell on or the water breathing potion, and then
Yeah,
it's
it's
counterproductive.
you may be covered for a little bit on the water breathing. As you mentioned, you do have some of the herb that or the moss that was found, and I think it sounds like Bart has some ability to do it. I know Saharn is good; he can breathe already. So I don't know exactly how much you have covered. So you may not have to worry too much about it, Kurza, as far as everyone might have some solution, possibly, without it. But let's see, has everyone rolled initiative? I have.
Oh, I don't remember where it was. I'm still looking for it.
You can just. Yeah.
Screen, it's just all
Well, I
blue.
see yours. I see yours.
I don't have it. Okay. I don't have a token in its turn order
Oh no, that's a
0.
And just roll a d20. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
was
added 0
before.
action
I didn't mean to
to my weapon.
leave you on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did the same as Cursa, yeah.
You know what I'll do?
Yeah.
Let me just add you all into the turn order. Here we go. So you can edit yourself now in the turn order. If you just want to roll a d10. Oh goodness. Okay, so Renwick's going 10th.
Okay, so there's no obvious teleportation places or anything like that out of here.
Potentially there are. Yeah. Those are the rooms with the water portals. And then the room with the crystal ball.
Which is
know
the room that had the
one,
water portal.
Scrying pool?
scrying
That
pools.
was here in 17H and 17C.
2 of them.
We
And then the one
determined
next to
that there was-
17C had a crystal ball.
Yeah, but being able to see and go through are two very different things.
Yeah, I don't think you studied them quite long enough to
Yeah.
know exactly what they were.
Yeah.
I think Immithra is the only one that spent any real time with them, like interacting with them, and she's of course dead, so it's gonna be not something she could describe now, but maybe she described before what it was like when she stared into it and she could see images appearing through this mist, and she was able to see images of her brother and confirm, or at least got the feeling as if she were seeing him right now, like where he was right now at this moment and what his situation was. So that was what the one in 17H was like, I believe.
What's the status of all these people that were having their life force drawn from?
So as Varodis has fallen and this tapestry of magic is starting to unwind, these bodies appear to slump forward as they're released from the spell, but they don't appear to have life in them that you can detect.
Might be worth a go round once just to see if anybody's conscious.
I don't know. We're on limited time. Maybe we should just try to get out of here.
I will start the clock on you here, and see, Seharn is 7th. Kurza, you're gonna go first anyway. So if you wanna decide what's got your interest right now.
It's this circle of people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go running around in a circle back towards the door and see if there's any kind of sound or anything. If I just go by and push them a little bit and see if there's any live ones in the group before I run back through the door to where I'm at.
Okay.
It's
Kurza, you had studied in the room with all the documents in the level below on how the tower worked. You had actually read that stuff. Did he pick up anything in that on how
good point.
tower works?
I'm sorry, on how what worked again?
Tower.
On how the tower.
Or how?
Yeah, I think that he doesn't
spent, like,
read
a
the
day in there.
language. Yeah, he doesn't read the language, so he wasn't able to know for sure, but his guess was that the hourglasses had some kind of bond to the other towers, and that some configuration with the hourglasses would send a message to the other towers. That's, I think, the limited understanding that Kurza was able to pick up on from the old texts that he had found. So there's that. Otherwise, I don't know that there was anything else he picked up.
There's not a way to teleport between towers.
There has to be.
Yeah, I don't think
we're
you.
gonna have to
Yeah,
haul us down to the bottom.
I don't think you've rolled it out.
Get out.
I would say that. You definitely
That's
looked through, if you remember, you looked through some of the mirrors, I think on the level below you, and you were able to see some places that you suspected were potentially the other towers, but I don't know that you proved that either. A lot of unknown
I'm
to
for a
that.
desperate attempt to find out.
Yep. That's what y'all want to do? We can teleport the heck out of here? Or step through the magic mirror?
It's on the way down. That's the way out right now, right?
We can't go out the front door because we're literally under the ocean. Only
But
I
the
know.
the very bottom floor is the stairway down and out. That's
Yeah.
what Nod knows about that one, right?
Yep.
He does.
That seems to be where Immithra thought we should go, was down, right?
So maybe, okay, so unless we want to stick around this level and figure out how sand bowls or the scrying pools work, then we should go down to the next level and see if we can figure out the mirrors. And give ourselves a couple minutes there, and then if we can't figure that out, all the way down, out the stairway to the bottom, grab the 2 henchmen, whatever we can carry.
Agreed. Yep. Let's go. We're wasting time.
So,
that timer might be running.
Is anyone going to do anything different than heading down, I guess is the question for this round? And if so...
Essentially, I would pick stuff before we leave. Not trying to touch it again, maybe pulling out the bag to pick up the stuff, throw it in the bag, and then...
So I think, yeah, as he fell to the ground and sort of his body disappeared, you saw Renwick lean down and roll up its cloak and stuff the cloak robe, into his pack, and he says, this will be fine proof for my elders. And he says, I will carry this burden. She died for my cause. And he picks up Immithra. This little gnome puts Immithra on his shoulder and begins to start walking towards the central chamber. Yeah, so you see after he has picked that up that there's also a wand that's laying on the ground. And there is a gem, a rather large looking blue gem.
Might as well pick them both up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will do that. Is there anything I should put to better describe her, just Varodis' gem and wand.
I
Just
think
say
that's good.
17D.
If the wand occurs at a
I
play,
guess it just said he was going circle, checking for life.
Kurza, I guess you could
If it
roll.
was that obvious they were dead, then
I think you had a pretty good roll. I think basically that you think most of them are in some type of stasis, that they're not probably truly lifeless, but they've been basically put into a stasis by the lich and have no other means therefore to come out of it. It would take some type of act to dispel.
yeah, we're not going to do that. So let's just go. Grab the wand, grab the gem, grab
Leave them.
Immithra. Let's go.
leave them. Yeah, leave them to die.
I guess my action. Yeah, I guess my action. It's me and say hushing in.
Unless you want to
I
drag
guess we were downstairs.
pick a body and drag it with us. Hope it's still alive and we can.
Yeah, there's that.
No, I think
There's that option, and the other thing that would occur to you is that they are sea elves, so being underwater wouldn't necessarily be their demise. But
the top
as far as the way that this sort of release is occurring, it's only opening small pinhole size openings one at a time, slowly as it's unwrapping the tower from this string, if you will. So it's not a big blast of force and water that's coming at once. It's a trickle of water that will grow into a flood of water that will grow into underwater.
I think we can be reasonably assured that they're going to be fine. If they're going to wake up, they're going to wake up, but we can't. We don't have the means to do that anyway. Maybe they will. They'll just come out of it over time. But for your sake, we have to leave. You're right. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah,
Anybody else have any business on this floor before you head downward?
Yeah.
My bug.
Yeah.
One of the
So
people
I
was
guess
the moss, but that
my
doesn't
original.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Griff.
I know I'm getting an error message. I guess my action would be we all come rushing in. I see Immithra dead on the floor. I see Renwick say, you know, this is blah, 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 and he picks her up. As, hey, I think based on what I know, maybe 10 minutes at the most, the tower's going to collapse. And then
full of water.
I spouted out. Yeah, and then I spouted out. Unless we can figure out a way portals to work or the crystal ball to work, you go down to the next floor and maybe try the mirrors.
Portal or
I guess
the mirror?
that would be what I would say.
All right. So
Mirrors were down below where Baden is stone.
So is everybody moving towards the center of the chamber now, or is anybody else doing anything else on this floor?
Was the moss that you can shoot, was that in the room 17G? Because I don't actually have any of that written down.
Blood moss?
Sea moss. It was the one that lets you breathe slightly longer.
So that was that one up here, or was because I have blood moss
Water-breathing moss?
and Titan flower.
The water-breathing moss was, yeah, the water-breathing moss was 2 levels below along the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was some by the opening in the wall as well, where it was.
Yeah. Bart's just gonna follow everybody else down.
All right. Okay, so everybody, I'm going to move you all towards the center of the chamber where when you arrive back towards this levitation, you notice that the levitation no longer seems to exist, that the blue haze has dissipated first, so you're left with this big opening that drops down about 20 feet into the chamber below it. You can attempt to, if you're you would take 1d6 damage for falling or jumping it. If you fail a tumbling check, if you've got tumbling, you can cut that to nothing. Otherwise, you guys would have to find another way to descend here safely.
I don't know. We never talked about this. We just jumped on and started, but I missed that week. So I'm like only have 9 hit points from the last time we played. Unless we've had rest and healing between that. But does anyone have a rope? Another way we can save our hit point.
Yeah, we all have.
Let's do that. Tie it off to It's the
You're
nearest thing we can tie off a rope to, Jamie.
Yeah, there are seats here. There are like benches and seats here that have legs on them that you could tie to. So you could definitely secure a rope and drop yourselves down or climb down the rope on it. So if anyone that wants to go the rope route, someone needs to do a rope use check to tie this up, and then everyone who's going to go down the rope needs to do a dex check.
Hey, I have a grappling hook and a rope. Will
Okay.
that benefit at all
All right. So
in the combination that we're doing?
yeah, you can do the rope use check, I think, first. If you've got the grappling hook, you could use the grappling hook.
Immithra did.
Yeah,
Right.
you could just use the grappling hook. So you can go ahead and if you're going to go down first, Nod, then you can do your dex check. No, not really.
Seamanship?
You could go first though, Kurza, if you'd like to, because I think you're actually first on the turn order.
Okay.
So if you want to do a dex check to climb down.
Thing.
And Nod, you should just jump down and catch the two
That would
baby
be
elves.
nice. I
All right,
don't
you're.
know if you can see. I have 1 HP.
Yeah, he was almost down with Immithra. Because what was the spell that he hit you guys with first? That
He hits him with firewall, I believe.
the firewall. That's right. The firewall got a lot of damage. Everybody was hurt.
Immithra has no hit points or just unconscious?
She is dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
She is dead.
okay.
So Griff has made his check, and let's see, Bart made his. Saharn made his. Everybody's climbing well. Nod.
I guess before I go down, I will pull out the last potion I have and drink it. How low is
Oh, I need
everybody
to
else?
put Gregor out there. Is Gregor not on there? I guess he. Oh wait, there he is. Okay.
No, I'll drink it. What is it? 3d8 plus. No, that's lesser healing. What is it? 3.
Yeah, a full potion is 3d8 plus 2.
We'll use that.
Let's see. So I'm gonna add. I guess I didn't have Gregor in there for you, Molly.
Oh, what, for initiative? You mean?
Yeah, yeah. He should be in there now though. So.
I see him. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so Gregor made it down. I'm gonna have, let's see, Renwick to roll to see if he makes it down. I guess he'll pass Imithra's body down first. So who will make the strength check to catch her?
Well, they could tie her
Me or
off
you,
and
Nod.
Lets her down slow.
No,
I
could
think
catch her.
he's just trying to be
Alright.
somewhat expeditious about time and not tie her and try to take too much time. It's just,
Whoa.
you know, I guess there's just no way you can fail that. There's literally no way you could fail that. That's crazy. So yeah, you're able to catch her, and then he starts to climb down. Oh, whoa. Okay,
I
hang
think we
on.
got her.
I gotta check his dex now, because he did not roll well. You might be catching a gnome next. Let's see.
Technically, I do have the gloves of missile snaring.
Oh, okay, no, he rolled his exact just like you did. So he was able to get down, not gracefully, but he gets down. And now the group is on the floor below. I'll cut our map over, and you can take a second look at what was here. I'm gonna delete these and re-add them. Okay, so you should see yourselves now in the room where you killed the helmed horrors. You've dropped into this space, and in here there's no sign of the water that's starting to fill the tower, so it's not reaching the inner chambers or anything yet. But I think some of these doors, like the door to the south here, is open, for example, and you might notice on the floor out here that there's some puddles on the floor. So
It's filling from the top. Is that right?
it's filling from all sides, like through these pinholes.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
coming through the walls,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
nothing
just
here
need
we
to
want.
keep on moving.
Move to it. Yeah.
Where are these
Nod would
mirrors?
probably mention that Baden is over here behind the plant on the right side.
Third floor, second floor. Which one were the mirrors on?
Oh wait. wait, let's go. So we're round 3. Okay.
They were 14. Go to the right,
They were in here.
and then
They were here.
These were the
over
mirrors.
Yes.
And
yeah,
That's it.
yeah. So what's the plan here? I'm going to start with, it looks like the turn order has changed. Let me reset you guys.
You
Yeah,
pick.
it's 9C and 9D. Yeah.
It's not descending. There we go. Okay, so Gregor's first. Are you heading over there too, Gregor?
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so everyone's...
I don't think we have time to fool with the wizard Baden. I think let's go to those mirrors.
Alright, so you can move all the way over there too. Yeah, all the way over to here. Is anyone... So, Griff, you're going into the room with the mirrors, and what's your intent? Not sure I hear Tim yet.
Turn order just because.
Copy, sir.
I didn't copy that.
His turn order just says round 3.
Oh, his turn order just says round 3?
And with mine, I was
Me
trying
too.
to.
Is everyone's just like that? Okay.
Yes.
That's weird. I don't know why.
I
Oh, I
It's
wonder if
okay.
they have a different turn order for each map.
Yeah.
That must be what it is.
We
think
can,
it goes by level.
yeah, we can just RP through this part, right? Like,
Yeah, we don't have to track each person since you're all sticking together. I guess that's the most important thing here.
as far as Saharn is concerned, I'm praying to Kurza, is probably the most intelligent PC we have. Figure out this portal and get us out of here.
Yeah, Mithra had a
Yeah.
lot of faith in Urza's magic. I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
The other
he can figure it out.
the others also, I think you had also before tried to learn
about these mirrors a bit. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and the other thing was with Baden that there was a scroll where you were trying to learn the scroll to be able to turn him from stone to flesh, were you not?
Yep.
And your attempt, I think, to learn the spell was also thwarted.
Yep.
Correct. Okay. So I think given the scenario, you may be given a chance to try to learn the spell or cast the spell, given the intensity of the situation. I don't have a problem with you trying to relearn, or if it's a spell you can cast or not from the scroll on him. Equally, you could try to spend time figuring out what these mirrors actually are capable of and how to interact with them. So I'll leave it to you to decide how Kurza would want to approach it.
I'll try and learn it, but then I got to spend the next round to cast it on him. And
But if he had to remove curse or whatever, he might be able to lower the water where we could just walk out the front door, in theory.
maybe, I don't know. He seemed to know more about the tower than we, didn't he?
He did.
It was
Yeah.
his life's work.
Yeah, he definitely
Yeah.
knew a lot about the tower.
All right,
if-
I'm gonna do that then, unless you want me to figure out the mirrors, and then while you guys, I don't know.
You're
here's
a
make
limited
roll.
resource, so you've got to kind of focus on one thing, and then maybe the rest of you can try to observe the mirrors without Kurza's input for now. I think.
I rolled a.
What was it
That's a 50 out of. That's a 20 die 20, so that's a 50.
But
50% chance, but
what was the exact? We had
oh, here it is.
the exact
I wrote-
thing somewhere in here.
Yeah, it's already in there. Come on.
We posted it on Discord.
Yeah, I think Brandon had
What the
posted it.
percent
There you go.
Learn
I made the
spell,
roll.
name check. Okay, so this was.
It's in chat.
That's right. Yeah, but this was a certain number of levels above you at the time. That's what it was. And hold on, I'm just double checking. Does anyone have that bookmark for the? Because I know it wasn't
Scrolling
the
back.
same as just learning a spell that's within your range, because it was a spell. It's like a spell or level or two above what you're capable of. You're now what, 5th level? Okay, let's see.
What was was it specific to stone, the spell you were learning?
You have a stone to flesh.
Yeah, stone to flesh.
General idea. At best, you might have a 40% chance of learning that. It's based on equal level is 50-50. And plus or
No,
minus 5.
there was a
I'm just tossing something out there that may or may not work here.
Oh, okay, so it's a base chance of 90% minus 5% for each level of difference between the wizard's maximum
There you
spell
go.
capability and the spell level on the scroll. So that would
I can
mean,
cast 3, and it's a 6th level spell.
yeah, so you passed. Your check would be valid. The roll that you did to learn spell is actually valid because it would have been 3 levels above you, 15, or yes, 90 minus 15 would have been 75, so it's actually the same. Okay, so you can cast the spell on Baden, and you're able to read it verbatim from the scroll. The scroll sort of fades as you do that, and you start to see some coloration restoring to Baden as he's transforming back into his normal self.
All right.
And in that moment, he's caught by surprise, of course, as time for him has stood completely still, and he has no knowledge of what's happened from the moment that the Madar turned him to stone and this moment now that you've come to him and turned him back to flesh. And he just for a moment just looks around, sees that there's no threat, and realizes that he's been saved by you, and he says, "My thanks to you. What the hell is happening?"
Quick recap. We cleared the tower, killed the mage. He was draining life and time out of all these people. They're released. But since he's dead, the tower's the magic protecting the tower is now collapsing. And it's about to flood out. How do we get out?
You killed Varodis?
Yes, he's dead.
I think I'd take him aback just a little bit that you actually killed Varodis. I think he would have doubted you mightily, but I think the look on your face at this point might be very urgent and therefore believable.
That's why I
But
explained it.
it's
the way I
very
did.
sudden, so he's like still gonna have to figure that out. And so he says, and he at this point I think would start to notice and look on the ground, and you would all notice that the floor, even in this outer, especially in this outer area, is puddled, and the water is at your feet now. And he would step into the hall with you, and he would come down here to the mirrors, and he would say, and I think he might grab Griff and pull you back, Griff, a step, and say, "Do not stand in the center unless you wish to go to a random place." And he says that this portal cannot be trusted to take us all to the same place, but it would remove us from the tower.
Where will we end up? There must be a way to
Yeah.
control this. The Harn's just doesn't want to believe that.
I think we covered the mirrors somehow before we
You did, yeah.
left it there.
Yeah,
yeah,
you did.
we did.
But
We
he,
put sheets over.
yeah,
did.
but he doesn't know. He's just
Right.
overreacting because of the way you guys are overreacting. You're acting appropriately, but again, to him, this is also sudden. So he explains that this portal would get you out, but that it would take you to potentially a random place that you couldn't control. And he
What if
doesn't
we were
know
holding
what all the
hands?
outcomes are of those
It-
places. Some of you may end up in the same place, and some of you may end up alone in a place by yourself. That's the risk you would take.
Even if we go in front of them 2 by 2 or something like that.
Or bind ourselves by rope so we're one unit and just go through as a thing. I don't know.
Actually, we could bind ourselves that way and then simultaneously remove the curtains on both sides.
Did we tell him about the scrying pools and the crystal ball?
No.
I had to step away. Sorry.
You
Yeah,
can,
there's some scrying pools and a crystal ball too. I tell him.
I think that the scrying pools,
The sand and the sand.
yeah, the scrying pools wouldn't have a lot of, probably spark a whole lot of reaction from him, but the idea of the crystal ball might like raise his eyebrow, like, crystal ball.
And then there was the
You did not bring it?
it was in the same room as the crown that seemed to be
it was on the opposite side of that.
Oh, okay.
Was it? Yeah.
It was on the table. You picked up the scroll of silence, and there was a crystal ball in there. Left the room.
For
I was.
Do have I have something.
Was the crystal
harmonic.
ball even something that could be moved?
yeah, it could be. Go ahead, Adam. What were you saying?
Oh, I
Sorry.
was just saying I have harmonic crystal written down. Trying to remember where I picked that up from.
I think that was different.
That was in. I think that was in the other room, but it was from upstairs, though. Yeah, it was from upstairs. Yep. So
That was from the shadow room.
I'm sorry. What was that, Brandon?
I believe the harmonic crystal was from the shadow room.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then there was the crown that was attracting everybody's greed.
It's no guarantee, but for future reference, if you ever see a crystal ball, grab it, says the wizard.
True.
I have no interest in such things.
It would be safer to go downward. I would rather head towards Myth-Nantar than the surface.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
We're following
Keep
him
running.
again.
And that's where I think you guys would have also. His life's work was Myth-Nantar, right? That's something that would be pulling him downward versus maybe your senses. Maybe you're not wanting to go down there, but he's definitely wanting to. I know some of you would be conflicted about this. Renwick he's gung ho on going down and back to the underground as well and showing receipts of his work. He and Baden would be eye to eye on heading downward. What are the rest of you feeling like?
I don't want to drown.
Let's go.
Nod would not be happy about the idea. He would be reluctant to show the way, but he would indeed show the way.
Yep. I'm happy with him leading us out of here because basically he was our lead when we entered this place. We were following him. So, yeah,
All right.
let him go.
Then he is going to actually head this way towards the next level. So we're going to bring you guys down to the next round. And we'll just move everybody. Let me just move everybody to the one location.
What would Nod remember about the stairs going down? The secret stairs? Could he reveal any information? It's just a winding staircase underwater going down into this next area?
Nod would know that the staircase ends in the surface water turning into the sea, and that it actually would open up and would lead down towards that hole where the ship was.
Okay.
And so that's
Does Baden know anything?
not that far from the bottom, from where you are, but from the second floor of the tower when you're looking down, it would be a mighty swim for a good swimmer to try to get there. So from the very bottom, you think everybody stands a better chance of less time of swimming. What was that, Chris?
What does Baden know about the hourglasses?
I'm going to go to the second floor. They are a communication method between the towers.
No way to use them to transport.
We could call for help, but I doubt it would get here in time. That's about the extent of what I think they're useful for. Did I bring everybody down? What in the heck is going on? See, are you guys... You probably can't see now. Hang on one second.
Nope.
I'm having trouble with
Black
the
and white
Roll20
map.
copying tokens here. Simple stuff. Second floor. Okay, so I'll put you guys here. You guys should hopefully see... I don't know where Baden is. I guess he's just not copying. I guess everyone else is. So anything that you wanted to do on the second floor, or just heading straight down?
This is the open area. I would grab the sea moth.
How many rounds do
We
we
had
have?
much of that already, but yeah.
I think we have time.
Oh, there he is. You can.
Oh yeah, gotta hurry.
You can get CMOS as you're heading down the steps if you'd like to grab a handful for sure. That's not that big of a deal. Just bear in mind that the CMOS will give you, basically gives you like 50% longer ability to breathe underwater. It is pretty helpful, but it's not like a potion of water breathing necessarily, where you'll have full ability of movement and everything.
Everybody grab some on their way by.
Yep. How
Yeah,
many, like,
so we
grabbing
already
a
had lunch.
handful is how many uses?
3 uses.
How is Gregor doing?
What's that? I didn't catch that.
Gregor, he just saw Immithra die. Now he's
Oh, that's a good question.
Renwick's carrying her dead body. Is he?
And
Yeah,
Do we
he's
need to
following
herd
her.
him along, or?
He's following Renwick, and he feels Immithra died because he was a coward. He wasn't even in the fight. But he wants to get out of here, so let's
yeah,
do
I
this.
updated Molly the artwork for Gregor a little bit to make sure he had some armor. So he's going to be wearing chainmail. So his AC will be 5, and I updated his sheet to add a few non-weapon proficiencies as well that sort of, I
cool.
think, complement Immithra. Because
yeah, yeah,
I envisioned him as being the one that had etiquette and things like that to help her negotiate or be respected. And so I fashioned him to be like a representative of a gladiator who would have learned along the way a few tricks himself as far as fighting. And he's got her trident. It's like a constant reminder to him of what suddenly he's been forced to step up.
It could be a Mistress Cato.
What else was anyone else wanting anything to do with this floor, or any questions about what else is going on this level? It's been some time since you've actually been down here. This was where the Yugoloth's corpse was, and you scraped the floor of coin. I think that's really like the highlight of this floor. There were several different suites where there were elves entrapped that you'd found that had been entrapped for a long time. But does anyone else have anything on this level before you head down to the first floor to check on your pirate crew?
And our loots? No.
Okay. First floor now. We're just stepping down. Back through all the maps one last time. Let's see.
Farewell, tower.
Are all of you in here? Probably not. Let me delete you again and re-add you. It's just easier. Okay. All right. You guys are now, and I've advanced the rounds as we've been going down. By the time you've reached this level, the water has now reached your knees. And so this whole floor of all the floors is flooded. And you are still able to reach the door for where your pirate crew were. Let's see, they were Iliac and Quig. By the gods, where the hell have you been? They'll open the door for you, and you'll see that they've moved some of the beds together so that they're like had a platform up off the water. You still see, for the most part, everything as you remember it. The chests are piled together as well to form this platform, and they're staying dry, and they look noticeably thinner to you. It seems like they've been rationing their rations, and they've been down here for quite a while, like weeks is the way it looks, from even though for you it's just felt like days. So yeah, they look exhausted and scared, but they're in one piece.
From our perspective, it hasn't been that long since we were back into this room.
It's only been a couple days,
a
maybe.
day or
Like,
two? Yeah. A day or two. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I will offer them some water out the endless water cup.
Yeah.
I think they already had that, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they have plenty of water.
Seawater,
but they would gladly take some fresh water. They might be low on that, but it definitely seems like they're malnourished right now because they've been really having to limit their food intake. They only had a couple weeks of rations, and like I said, many weeks have gone by. Needless to say, they're relieved to see you, but they're frightened and they're ready to follow your orders. What should we do?
Time to go.
Yeah, gather your stuff. Follow us.
And gather what you can.
Grab a couple chests.
Yeah, you'll see Notch went up and haul it on his shoulder.
I think, and what you'll be able to do, yeah, so whoever that's figured that out, I guess, who is going to carry? We got one, Griff's got one, Nod's got one. Anyone else carrying a chest? I think you had basically,
Each of them.
I want to say there were 5 chests total, right?
There's 4.
Or 4. Oh, 4, okay. So
yeah, but how many actually had stuff in them?
Well, I think there were 5.
They're completely full with coins. They're like completely full. jammed to the
Well,
top.
I can be a porter. I'll take one. I'm just mostly a healer anyway. If something jumps us, yeah, you guys have your hands free.
How heavy are they?
100 pounds.
That's more than me almost.
Well,
Are we gonna
that's
swim
just
with-
the gold, not including the chest.
Yeah, that's the gold,
Yeah.
and then the chest is like an additional 30 pounds. So we'll say 25 pounds. So 125 pounds to carry one of these.
I don't
My
see how we're
total
gonna
weight
swim
allowance
with
is 40.
Yeah,
Wait,
you're
yeah.
not the
Yeah,
mule for sure.
Never mind.
Pick
Together
the ones
equals-
that have the most valuable coins in them and leave the rest.
So if they're
You can have Quig and Eliac carry chests too, but I think the issue
You're
that
gonna
you're
have to
running
swim
into
with it.
now is that if you're going down, you need to be ready to breathe immediately because you're about to go down the staircase that's going to be submerged as well. Even before you decide who's carrying what, I think they would want some assurance that they're going to be able to breathe and reach your destination because they don't even know what it is you saw. Like this hole in the ground in the water. They don't even know what you're talking about, that kind of thing. They could carry a chest each, but you would have to make sure that they're taken care of and that they can breathe too. So how do we want to go through? I guess we'll step through each person's solution on how we're doing water breathing, or that's probably the next discussion we should have.
Sue would know best how long we need to breathe underwater. Like, how long is it going to take us to get to some place where we can find breathable air? Like Renwick or
So,
Aiden
so
have an idea?
I'd say that Nod would recall that it probably took him a couple of minutes of swimming, and Renwick would recall that it took him like 3 times as many minutes. So you're thinking it's like you would be underwater potentially for somewhere between 4 to 10 minutes.
A water breathing potion is good for an hour, and if you divide it up, you divide up the time. So if 6 people drink from it, you each get 10 minutes.
There's
I
only
think
3 droughts in a potion though. So you can only divide it 3 ways.
I do have the spell that I have. I can divide.
Okay, that you can divide.
5 ways.
Yeah, that
so
you
I
can
think
divide it.
that would give 5 people an hour.
Okay.
7,
Okay,
8, now we
so-
have 9 people, not including
Yeah.
Sahar.
Okay, so you've got
Yeah, I
the
don't
5
need it.
covered. Yeah, not
don't know if I
including
can-
Saharn, you got 5 from the spell.
Yeah, I don't know if I can divide it up in the less than an hour chunks, I guess would be the only question. It says here. I suppose I can just throw it up in the chat.
From the AD&D wiki, it's showing this. I'll drop it in chat as well.
Water breathing.
Divide
Okay, you can divide the base
between
duration.
lots.
Huh, okay. I don't have any problem with the fact it would be divided down to minutes. It doesn't have to be in hour increments. We would just need to figure out. So if you're going to cast the spell,
hour per character.
We could just do a half hour, 9 people, a half hour each.
yeah, so 30 minutes each off of just your spell, and then you could keep the other stuff in your hip pocket in case you need it. Right? The moss and oh no, that's the other thing. So
Oh, yeah.
if you eat the moss in conjunction with the water breathing, you'll have 50% longer duration. So that's the other thing
okay.
to consider. Yeah. The moss increases your
something-
ability by 50%, and if you have water breathing ability due to magic, it would increase that as well.
That's something we can eat the moss at a later point when
Mhm.
it becomes.
If you drink or if you eat the moss whenever the spell, like you're only going to get 50% of what remains of the spell.
Ah, okay.
So right now that you've just had the spell cast on you, if you eat the moss, you'll get an additional 15 minutes, right? So for any of
Right.
you who want to do that, I think you have some number of doses of the moss. Now you would get the most benefit for it. If you wait and there's 2 minutes left, you're only going to get an extra minute, right?
Yeah, might as well just eat the moss now.
Yep.
Potion, and off
So-
we go.
So who all has or who all is eating moss, and who all do you have enough moss for your pirates? I guess that's the question I have.
We
Well, I
all
think-
gathered 3 when we went by,
Yeah, we all gathered 3 doses when we went by.
Yeah, I think so.
and then Immithra had 3
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right.
from the first show.
That makes sense. Okay. All right. So everybody will then have 45 minutes of ability to breathe once you submerge yourself. You'll leave this room basically. Again, the water's rising. For some of
Yeah,
you, the
we-
water's at your knees. For some of you, the water's at your waist.
Yeah, from before.
Was there any chests left? Did we not
Yeah.
grab them all?
I think you've got that
Well,
covered.
We already had. If you look at party treasure, we already had.
It's just cutting out right when he's saying we already had it, but I heard what he's saying. Okay. All right. So I think this would be a good time to take our mid-session break right before you guys submerge yourself and head down the stairs underwater here. So we'll take a 5-minute, 6-minute break and come right back.
Alright.
All right.
Will do. Thank you.
Hey, Adam,
Yeah.
how many people are you dividing that your spell up into?
I think there were 9 of us, right? So I have an extra half hour left over.
So if you don't include me, because I have a potion of water breathing,
Yep.
I can use that instead. And that'll give everybody else more time.
Not a lot of extra time, only a couple minutes per person if we're dividing it up that far. I think
What's your total time?
5 hours.
Okay.
So everybody
Yeah,
gets a
yeah.
half hour, like one person could get an hour, but or 5 hours. Yeah, it didn't say by level, did it? It's just divide the base duration.
So you got 300 minutes. Divide by 8 by not including me.
Yeah.
That would be 37 minutes, 37 and a half.
And then we eat
So-
the moss, and that's another, what, 19 minutes on top of
I
that.
think he said 45 minutes, right? We'll have 45 minutes with us.
Yeah, basically.
About. Yeah, roughly.
And that's with you keeping the potion, or is it we just all still have 45?
Yeah, I would think
minutes,
45 minutes would be enough for all of us to get where we need to go. I would hope.
Either that or it's going to be the most epic PPK of.
Not as though we have much choice. I
Hey,
think-
Molly got one ahead of us on that.
yeah, better to die in battle than to drown.
Yeah.
There you go. That is true. That is true. I wish I had been there for the fight. That would have been helpful, I think.
It was tough. Tough, Urza.
I'll bet it was.
I
That
think
I
I
don't
was-
doubt.
1 HP for the
think-
longest.
I think the only reason I'm alive is I had cast levitate or drank a potion of levitate just on a whim to try and get over fire that was already there. Otherwise, I'd been in the cloud kill and there
Oh.
probably would have been more than one dead.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Okay. So the
The
question
lady-
is, how many of these chests are we actually taking out? Who's carrying one out?
I guess we've got enough people to carry all 4 chests.
Do we? I'm just trying to confirm.
I thought you guys did confirm that. Saharan said he would carry 1, and if you're carrying 1, and the other 2 guys, helpers, are carrying 1 each.
And then Griffith's
That's all
carrying one,
4.
so that's one. Okay.
But I thought we had 4 chests worth of stuff, not 5.
There should have been 4 chests. I think there were 5 chests in total, 1 at each bed, but each chest could contain 5,000 worth of coins. So
If the 5th one's empty, just leave it behind. There's no point.
I think we only would need 3 because there's only 70 gold pieces worth of coins. So there would only
Oh.
be 3 chests that we would need to carry out. Oh no, I guess there's more gold, but that's in the party treasure. I'm not sure how we want to handle that one.
I'll just leave it at
We had
4.
20
It'll be a lighter.
20,000.
Yeah.
I think Nod picked up 5, and he's been walking around with it since the old guy played.
Doc- Only had 25. Then we had like armor and all kinds of other crap. I don't know. We'll leave stuff.
Who's got the gem and the wand from upstairs?
It is in Knott's bag. He picked it
Okay.
up off the. I think.
Okay.
Just a side note. What do you call it? Picked up the robe. Anyway, Varodis' robe. I see items currently with Elec and Quihig and Lower Tower Barracks. Menders, Lead, Arrow, Thorn, Moss. Suit of plate mail. There's 4 suits of plate mails. I guess we're not grabbing the.
Yeah, probably not.
The 2-handed swords. I'm assuming we're not grabbing those. 2 suits of full CL-sized plate mail from body. I guess we can pull those off because we're not going to be bringing them with us.
Yeah.
Got to triage that treasure.
If you wanna put it below and just say left behind, and put a list just in the event that maybe you came back, but something like that, even just to know what you left behind.
Nah, between you and I, as long as we can walk and breathe, I'm gonna carry a lot of stuff, and we may be able to make multiple trips.
With 45 minutes, we might be able to make multiple trips. I'm not against it.
All right, we'll pick up back here in the stairwell. I think that you've got the lot of you. What is this? 10. You are now a party of 10. And you will. Who's gonna take the lead here? Is Nod? Are you leading the way?
I think he would be the other one with, other than Renwick, with knowledge on the way forward. So yeah, he would.
Yeah, and Renwick's carrying a body right now, but he will be as close behind you as he can move right now. Baden will be behind them, so he'll be like close by. So you basically reach the room and you're able to open the doorway to the staircase that leads downward. And what you remember is that it went down about 30 feet before it, I'm sorry, 50 feet before it reached water. And now the water is actually already coming up towards your thighs and waist area. You're going to have to submerge to go down through here, but it still seems like a better option than trying to go out the front door. You can start off. I need to know.
Maybe he'll pull out a rope and instruct everybody to grab a hold every 5 feet and try to stay together.
We have a light source? Because all I see are these little red dots.
How do we communicate?
Are you not seeing anything on the map right now, Chris? Is that what you're saying?
Red bars.
But you don't see anything else on the map?
Black.
Black, okay. 1 second.
I can tell where the life bars are for everybody, but not who they belong to.
So you just, oh, that's weird, because you have, I guess I'll just toggle it. You have vision. I'll just turn it off and then turn it back on and see if that changes it. You might be stuck in a wall. That might be what it is. Let me.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay. Good catch, Tim. But yeah, so I guess the order is somewhat like this, I assume. And what we'll do is, so you're gonna start things off first, Nod, and you're gonna go ahead and roll a. This is going to be a decreasing strength check. In order to reach the hole, you have to swim down 50 feet of stairs and then another 50 feet of water. In order to do that, you're going to do strength checks. If you have swimming, and these are going to have penalties on them if you don't have swimming.
Do not have swimming as a proficiency. Will having the extra weight give me any bonuses? Because I think he's at least carrying like 300 pounds right now.
I think
It's going to pretty weighed down.
For this first part, when you're trying to descend the stairs, I think that sort of offsets. I think whenever you get off the stairs and you're trying to swim in the open water and actually control where your direction, that's when it's gonna be more difficult. So for now, you can go down the stairway, but you're gonna be rolling a swimming check, which is a strength check -3. Okay, so you succeed, and you're gonna be able to swim down to the bottom of the steps. Gregor is able to swim down with no problem. He's a swimmer. Everyone else, bear in mind, is a -3.
I still can't see anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And what are we
Chris,
rolling?
Let's see. Where you still can't see even though you're in the hall. I thought that fixed it. My bad. Let's see. I don't know what it would be. You have full vision. you have bright light and low light on. It's assigned to your character. I could just try to delete your token and put it on there again. I don't know.
Maybe.
It just makes it
Hmm.
huge when I do that. But here, did that do anything for you? Did it change the map at all?
No,
That's so weird.
this is really weird.
What you're looking at right now is just the map of the first level. So
Okay.
you're going to be going down a stairwell. So we'll just quickly be underwater
Yeah.
here in a moment.
No.
As long as you can roll, I think is what matters. If
What do you want me to roll against?
so it's a
Said
strength check
strength
-3.
-3.
Right.
Strength at -3?
Yeah.
Strength. Okay.
Rolling. So does this? Did I pass this?
What's your strength?
13.
Yeah,
So
you passed it.
okay. Just trying to figure out what it actually rolled. I know 10 is what I needed to get, but okay.
I think it rolled a 10. Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to your attributes tab and click on your.
I did
thing
the.
in there when it asks for the mod.
Oh, to ask for mod there too. I did the
Oh,
ability
you
check.
know what I'll
on
do?
the
I'm
map
gonna
page.
I put a -3 in the mod check.
move our map here. Are you able to see this artwork? This map that has a hole in the sea? Is everyone able to see that?
I can see it.
Okay. What I'm gonna be doing is putting you guys out here on this map, and this is where we'll track. I'm gonna make you guys way bigger now. Hopefully going forward I won't have such a micro map that I have to shrink everything down like we did in the tower. It was like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in there on all the maps. I had to make you guys micro sized. Here we go.
Yeah, my computer can't handle any of this.
Well, are you able to see anything right now? The blue? I'm wondering if it's just zoomed in or something. Alright, so I think we got everybody on here now and resized. I don't know what that was. I guess that was a area of effect thing.
Yeah.
Oh, did you change the aura on your thing? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
just playing around to see how do I add light to
Let's see, on
a light
yours.
source?
Let me double check the map settings. Hang on.
So have you tried refreshing the page maybe? Maybe it's just Roll20 being cleared.
That could be.
It should be fully lit for everybody. Like you should be able to see the entire picture. It's not dynamic lighting enabled, as far as I can tell. Okay.
Right. How do I get back?
I'll check your
Okay.
token one more time, Chris, see if there's something else. But no, it looks like it's... I could disable your night vision on your character token and see if that... You have a limited
Sure, why
field of
not?
vision too. That might be better, but either way, it's not terribly important that you see the map in this circumstance. But what I'm gonna do is, for those of you that failed, so it looks like Griff and Kurza have failed, and what we're gonna do is we'll start our rounds over right now. Swimming check, yeah, if you can make one. It's just strength, swimming or strength, whichever you have, but it's -3. Okay, so what we're gonna do is put those of you who have successfully passed your check have made it to the bottom of the stairwell. That would be Nod, Gregor. Does anyone want to roll for your pirate friends and see how they fared here? I'll roll for Renwick.
I think the pirates have swimming.
Oh, okay, so he's also... Yeah, the pirates would have swimming. If you want to make swimming check.
I can't. My computer's not handling anything right now.
Okay, no problem. I think did Adam oh, you passed. You're passed. Okay, so you made it. Saharn failed it. Although going forward, I think once he reacclimates to the water, that probably won't happen again. Kurza failed. Let's see, Baden. Okay, he passed. So he's also out front. Did we determine Okay, so our pirates... Oh, okay. So one of our pirates has critically failed. The other one has succeeded. I think that's what Nod was rolling there. So one of them is up here with you all. And the other one has fallen way behind. So I'll just put him kind of on the edge of the map here. But what's happening here, and I think Griff too, is those of you who failed your check were only able to make it halfway down the stairwell. You're just moving slowly. You're not moving efficiently in the water, and you don't know your way yet. I think the question does come up here about light. I know you have the magical rocks that you got from the underneath the Sahagin layer. Who has that? I forget who was carrying that.
Bart has some of those yet.
Okay.
Or the pebble with continual light on it, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Immithra have any? I thought she had one.
Didn't she have a light spell on her sword or something like that?
She did, yes. Saharan cast continual light on her short.
So her short sword would be a sword of light. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move into the next roll. You guys are just going to continue to do strength checks. You guys need to move forward already because you're halfway
The one
there.
who got left behind, Amy, can I help him in any way?
But I was trying to leave like a 50-foot of rope out behind so people could attempt to use it as a pulling.
Yeah, I think that in his case, maybe he got tangled in the rope, and instead of getting a good grasp of it because he's carrying a chest, he somehow twisted himself up in it and slowed himself down. It's not that he's not able to breathe or move, but he's just been slowed by it. We'll see if he's able to catch up. It'd be difficult for you to help him unless you want to turn around and help him, right? For the other people who have failed their check, Renwick and Kurza and Griff, they could help him. They would be within range to try to help him if they choose to this round. So otherwise, though, the rest of you might want to swim forward. And,
Okay.
I'll put Nod out front a little bit because I think, again, Nod is the only one truly that knows where the heck he's going. All right. Go ahead, you can start your rolls for your next round of swimming. I see Gregor made it.
I'll
Bart's
help the
failed
guy
his.
who's far behind.
Okay, so if you want to help, hold on. Just hold your roll if you're helping. If you're not, if you're just swimming, go ahead and roll.
If
So,
it's going to put serious minuses on my roll,
Brant.
then I probably won't be able to help him at all.
Okay, so he made it this far. All right, Nod's out front. And then who else do I have to roll for? Did you roll? You rolled 3 times, so both the pirates made it. Okay, so the pirate in the back would catch up before you have to do anything. You would see that he rights himself, gets himself untangled, Kurza, and you don't feel as concerned about him because he's just passed his other check. So he's back on track. He's just a little behind you. Saharn, the sea elf is, maybe it's these clothes. He's probably like, why do I have all these clothes on? I normally swim with much less on, but okay, so he goes a little slower here.
There's the monk, the orientation. I don't know.
I think you failed the first round too, right? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So you should
Yes, I did.
you should have been back there, and then if you failed this round, yeah, you've only gained a little bit.
I don't know if you're talking
Hey, how
about
is your swimming check thick?
Because
Sorry?
his strength is 9,
9.
and he put the -3 into his roll, so it actually just modified his target.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a sea elf should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just slowing him down. It's not like he can't swim. Again, I think it's even though he is a sea elf, he's wearing land clothes, and he probably still has to figure out exactly how to orient himself, and then he probably will swim by you with ease once he's got his footing. But for now, it's just really just about speed. All right, so let's see, Kurza failed. Anyone else? Let's see, did
I'm sorry,
Bart-
it just feels weird. It feels like I would fail a walking check or something. I don't know.
did Bart roll?
Bart failed this round.
Oh, okay. All right. So Bart, where is he? He was. Okay, so you were already
Yeah, okay.
going. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I think then for Nod, you and Gregor would be the first, followed by which guy is this? I don't know which. Oh, this is Quig. Okay, Quig. So Quig, Nod, and Gregor would be the first to reach the opening in the seafloor, and you would see that it goes down through this water bubble area where there's bubbles rising up from down in this pit. And so Nod, as you reach that and you're now like pushing against the bubbles going down and carrying the chest, you almost don't even have to swim. You can just, for someone your weight carrying the chest, you can almost hold still and you start to slowly go down into the hole. It just takes a few minutes for you to get all the way down, but you're able to do that. So you don't have to roll any check because you've made it this far. However, the three of you, I'm going to have you roll a wisdom check, please. Okay. So, Gregor, as you're following Nod and starting to follow the bubbles down and just let your weight carry you downward, you look off into the distance and you suddenly your eye is caught by some movement in the shipwreck itself. And it looks like there's like a humanoid figure that's trying to hide from you, I should say, huddled up in the corner of the shipwreck, if you will. And so that catches Gregor's attention, but I don't know if there's anything you wanted to do about that because it might be difficult to communicate.
Yeah, I might not. If I'm near someone, I might tap them and point. But...
Yeah, I think for Nod, unfortunately, because he failed his check, you wouldn't been able to really make his check successful because he failed by 3, but had he maybe failed by 1, you might have been able to call it to his attention. So right now, unfortunately, like you might be the only one that knows just because of the positioning.
I'm just gonna hurry at my pace. Try and get down this hole.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of waiting as you're sinking down the hole at a certain speed. But you're moving along. For the others, let's see. I think we had. Let's see, I didn't roll hit for him. Okay, both Baden and Renwick get themselves out, and they're at the halfway point. Kurza had failed. This other pirate, Efrain, he had passed and moved him up. What happened with Griff? Did you succeed? Yeah. So Griff's up. And then Saharn, I just want to see now if it's just going to make you fail swim checks. Because actually, I do think it's funny that a swim check is based on strength. And it's just it's just funny that.
I don't know. I think for an aquatic creature, it would be an innate ability.
Yeah, it is. This is just more for, I think, entertainment value at this point. It's not like Saharn cannot handle himself.
Right. This will be 3 in a row. It's a low bar, so you want.
Come on,
minus,
you can't. It can't happen. It can't happen.
It's
also, for you, you shouldn't. Oh,
-3.
you shouldn't have the -3 because you are proficient with swimming. That's one of the mistakes that I meant to mention.
Then,
but
again,
look, you still failed it.
You have astonishing fortunes.
No, it's not detrimental, right?
No, it's
Those
not.
were just teasing. I was going for round 4.
The only real negative effect this is going to have for you is it might limit your ability to make a return trip as quickly, right? That's all it's really going to do. But Bart failed, so Bart's also struggling here as well. But the rest of you are all spread out here. It looks like, for the most part, the others.
We need to do another one.
Yeah, you guys are gonna do one more check for the rest of you that didn't reach it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be the last check for some of you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel! I made it.
Oh, well, there's a fail for Renwick and a pass for Baden. Or wait, strike that. Reverse it. It's Baden. And then Renwick's caught up to him. Griff made it. Okay, so you've made it to the bubbles now. You're over the edge, and you can make a wisdom check, Griff. But you see the others sinking down below you through the bubbles. And as you're doing it, you are examining the horizon, and you look in the shipwreck, and multiple humanoid figures huddled up inside of the part of the shipwreck, this end of the shipwreck. It catches your attention that they're definitely trying to evade your vision, but they fail to do it.
Can I wave at them?
Sure, you could wave at them. Are you gonna wave at them?
just to try to get their attention.
Okay, just waving both hands, whatever you can do to get their attention, kind of thing.
Yeah, just high.
Okay.
Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that while you're even like once you reach the bubbles, you could start to try to flag them and get their
That's what I'm
attention.
sneaking by. Yeah.
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 All right. Let's see. Go ahead and do a charisma check. We'll see if it even looks like you're trying to signal them or if maybe you're drowning or who knows. Okay. So yeah, I think you're able to like get your point across that you're trying to get their attention as you do this. Let's see. Who else did I miss?
I succeeded.
You succeeded. Kurza was all the way back here. Now you're gonna have to do one more check. So I think, let's see, looks like Baden, Renwick, Kurza, Bart, Afrain, and Saharn for the hell of it. You need to make one more swimming check or strength check.
All right.
Oh, both of
Holy mackerel.
Renwick and Baden failed there, so they're not moving very well right now. Ooh. Let's see, who's that? Oh, that was mine.
Another 18. Oh,
There you go. Okay, so Saharn is now like suddenly just like a dolphin is like flies by and reaches the bubbles in one go as he
got my sea legs back, dog.
and the Frayne is similarly is like inspired by watching him and swims all the way to the edge as well, so he makes it. Let's see, I think it's just Renwick and Baden, and how did Bart do? He failed. So he's also still behind. Kurza made it. Okay, so Kurza, you're also in the bubbles now. So for those of you who just reached the bubbles, Saharn and Kurza, you can both roll wisdom checks as well. You might also notice, I'll see how you roll. All right.
Just
So,
barely made it.
okay, so Kurza, the first thing you would notice is that Griff is like doing some kind of dance down as in the water as he's trying to do some motion as he's sinking in the water. Let's see if what Saharn sees here. Okay, yeah, so Saharn, your eyes almost immediately start looking in and around all of the shipwreck, and 3 humanoid figures floating around in the debris, and you're the only one that has any chance of recognizing these things. I'm going to give you an intelligence -2 check.
No. All right, Kirksey coming up. Roll 20. Intel -2. Bad. Let's put equals. No.
You got astonishing fortune. Might as well.
Astonishing fortune.
Maybe.
Think it's that critical?
Sure, why not?
Just for recognizing these things?
You never know. It could be good, it could be bad.
We could wait just to see if they bite or not.
I'd rather find out if they bite beforehand.
Oh no.
Oh no, really?
Oh man. I think
the
I think
dice
you
are
have
not
you
high.
actually had 6. You should have had 6, right? Is that the first one you guys spent?
Yes,
So you
it
should
is.
yeah, so you should have 5 left. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you get an eerie feeling anyway when you see it that you don't think it's probably a friend of a sea elf feeling, but you're not yet sure exactly what's going on, and so I think it's just for you, and you would keep your eye on it, but you don't know yet exactly what it is
I'm
feeling.
just going to cautiously hover in the water and
Yeah.
hold on to my spear.
All right. So who hasn't reached the bubbles yet? Baden, Renwick, and Bart need to roll strength checks. We would be, let's see, this would have been around, so we're about 6, 7, this will be the 7th minute of your effects. Okay, so Bart makes it this time. And go ahead and roll a wisdom check, sir. These 2 guys.
Hopefully somehow there's
Oh my
air
God.
at the end of all this.
All right.
Bart's real disoriented under here. He doesn't know what's going on.
Move the rest of you over here.
Nod is our 13th warrior, and he's leading us to the air beyond the tunnel.
Yeah.
Looking for a membrane bubble here.
Okay, so everyone except for Baden and Renwick, who keep failing, have reached the bubbles, and several of you have noticed these figures. They don't seem to be taking any action. They seem to be trying to observe you, from what you can tell, and hide from you. But you end up sinking down through the bubbles into this hole that starts to narrow, and it's like a funnel, and as you're getting down towards the bottom of the funnel, it gets to be about 10 feet wide, and at that point you reach this point where you swim under and up and reach this little open area where there's air, and you're underground in a cave. So I'll give you guys, I think there's art for this. Let's see. Yeah, I've got everyone but Saharan in here. Let me get.
Why my screen is black.
Oh, is it black for everybody?
I believe so,
Yes.
yeah.
It is, but it might be just loading. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
shouldn't
mine
be.
says
I think
loading.
it must be a setting. Hang on. Good, this gives me a chance to fix the picture.
Yeah, mine only said loading for a couple. Oh, wait. Scroll down.
I think it's because it has dynamic lighting enabled and I need to disable that. That's my fault. Okay, so now it should reveal an image.
I remember this.
Yes.
So you've now all pushed yourselves through the waterway. Let's see, ultimately, and I don't have Baden in here either. That's the other one I just realized I'm missing. But ultimately, after a few minutes, Renwick and Baden do arrive, and keep in mind, Renwick was carrying Immithra with him, so he's exhausted, and you guys are sitting there for a minute, drenched from the water, sitting in this cavern. And as you look around in this cavern, you see a stone urn or cauldron sitting on the floor on the other side of the cavern that you're standing in, and it is ablaze with something that's giving off a very kind of fragrant odor. It almost smells like a floral moss or something in the area. You sense that's what's coming from the urn as you're drying off and orienting yourselves, and everybody's arriving at a different moment. What would you like to do? I'm going to find Baden. I'll add him in here, but the group is whole and you are all arrived.
Were me and Griff going to attempt to go back and pick up anything else we left?
What's this
Shall we?
cauldron? What's this?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a stone cauldron. So you take a little bit of a closer look at it. You can see that it looks pretty old and cracked and worn, but it's still held together fairly well. And if you take a closer look at what's burning inside of it, and you look inside, you can see like it's almost like a really dim fire. It's a little bit unnatural to you. I think for anyone that might have spellcraft, you could attempt to discern what it is, or if you have any other type of proficiency or spell for detecting things, you can try to discern more from it.
Yeah, I gotta wait for. I had to reload.
No problem.
Things are reloading.
There's Baden. I'm gonna put him in.
Did you do the math to figure out get everything?
We would probably need one more trip to get everything. There were multiple suits of plate armor that would be heavy.
There were a lot of stuff. Did
There you go. There's a spellcraft.
would I just be able to do it?
If we're not carrying the gold and everything, I think we would be able to do it in one trip. Me and you.
You and Sahar and the sea elf.
I'm not against that, but yeah, I guess my character wouldn't know anything about it.
Sahar would be opposed to helping you go grab random suits of armor, but in my mind, his mind.
I don't know that
stuff everywhere.
Saharn's carrying
We need-
capacity is too much either to carry too many of those.
No, he would just be kind of escorting.
Yeah,
going
yeah.
with us.
Yeah,
Really, it's not like we can actually wear all these sets of plate armor.
No.
yeah. Well,
I'm
from
good
his-
either way, guys. This is for the party. If we want to drag all this stuff with us, then I'll go back.
I don't think we need plate armor. I don't think it's worth.
Yeah.
From my point of
We
view,
just
it's
need to.
clutter. It's just clutter. We
Okay.
got
Yeah.
All right, I'm good.
Right.
All right. We're not not going
I
back.
Get rid
think
of the plate.
I think the other thing that's starting to occur to you is that the tower itself is likely not to collapse from the way that the magic is unwinding. Really, all the contents would be preserved inside for some time. I don't know how long the armor would be good for, but many other things would still be recoverable if you chose to go back. So it's not forever gone, I guess, is the other way to look at that. But I guess that's...
And I don't, yeah, and I don't need any of the stuff or the money for that matter, but I was just offering to do it for party.
Yeah, you and Nod would be the ones to muscle it out if you had to, but sounds like caution is prevailing here instead.
All right. See.
Okay, so what would you guys like to do here now that you're in this room? Basically, the cavern itself is, you hear dripping throughout the cavern. It's only dimly lit from your own lighting sources. It's not emitting any other light other than the cauldron. It's not like it's telling you which way to go. I think for Nod and Renwick, they would have some bearings here. They would know which way they came. And so the two of you could lead the way, but what I'll tell you is you don't remember seeing this cauldron when you passed through here before. That would be for Nod. So this is a little peculiar to you. The room itself doesn't seem, or the cavern itself doesn't seem peculiar. It seems as you remember it, but the cauldron is out of place for sure, and you're picking up, even through the scent of the cauldron, Nod, you're picking up an odor of some other being in the vicinity.
I would start to hush everyone down and point around and give the clue that something was around.
How many routes out of this area are there?
It looks
I
like
think it's just one.
there's just one way really that it leads to. The other way would just take you back out. So if as you start, you know, I guess really the question is there anything else you want to do with the cauldron or the current space you're in?
Yeah, Nod would recommend that we stay here in camp and we try to better ourselves before we progress forward.
I'm wondering if
He
it's cauldron.
he knows what's further on, and yeah, point at the cauldron, and there's still something here around us.
Is it magical?
Do you want to do a detect on it?
Can't.
I don't have any detect left.
I have one first level left. I can't.
Okay. Or wait, you can or you can't.
I can't. Or I can use it as a heal. I'm assuming I haven't healed since the last time I played.
Oh,
I
I
haven't
see.
done
I see.
no recovery
Yeah.
going on
I
that. I
gotcha.
still have one spell left.
Yeah.
I got
I'm
you.
tapped out for first level spells, so I don't have anything left there.
Yeah, I think
Could be also
everybody's got
detect.
some similar challenges on things like that, and even coming out of the lich fight, you would have been banged up. I think it's fair to assume that yeah, you're still needing healing more than the detect magic, if that's.
I personally do need healing. I'm more in my. Any of you or all of you relatively stable? That's what I think, right?
The
We're all stable at the moment, yes.
Yeah, because I'm down to, what did I say, 9 hit points. I think if I clicked my character token last time I looked.
Yeah, and Nod is very low as well. Or you did drink a potion,
I did drink a potion, but yeah,
you're
he's still relatively low.
Yeah.
Like a third of his hit points.
What were you guys doing with when we were dancing in the bubbles outside?
That's for Griff.
Saw some figures,
Okay.
and I tried to signal to basically let them know I saw them.
Mm-hmm.
So they were hiding from us?
Yeah, and you'll see Nod at this point too, like pulling out his sword and starting to get closer to the shadows and hide in them and attempt to see if there's anything else in our vicinity.
They could have left this cauldron behind to go out and do whatever they were doing out there,
So
and then come back to it.
So Nod, like you take a second, you take a little bit more time to get another whiff of the room, and the second time you get the whiff, you're 100% sure there's something within 50 feet of you. somewhere in this vicinity. You definitely smell a distinct odor of another being, but it's not something. It doesn't smell like a familiar being.
I was about to say it wouldn't be a mimic, is it?
No, it doesn't smell a being you've smelled
Continue.
before would be,
Right.
yeah, but you
I
definitely
think
smell something like a faint rotten smell. Keep in mind it's really damp and cold and slick in here, and there's algae all over, and it's dripping water, but this
Yeah.
this
Hey, how high is the
odor,
cavern ceiling?
it's about 25 feet to the middle, the average height of it. It varies because there's some stalactites up there and stuff, but for the most part, it's about 25 feet high.
I'll just say, come on out, whoever you are. We know you're there.
Oh, so
That's a
you'll
good one.
call out?
Yeah.
In what language?
That's a good one. That's a good question. The only thing I might have I really don't. I'll try it both in Ancient Dwarven and Elvish.
That's okay. So
And Orc!
let's have, okay, so Curza make a charisma check, and everyone else make a wisdom check, please.
No. I like wisdom
funny.
checks. That's my best stat.
Holy crap, I actually made a successful
Okay,
charisma
well,
check.
it's good charisma
That's
check.
amazing.
Yeah, that's a tougher roll. Okay, so Bart's good and Nod's good. Okay, looks like most of you did succeed this one. As you're calling out and you're saying show yourself in these various languages, the rest of you are taking maybe a little bit of a closer look around because you're starting to get the sense now from Nod that he's picked something up and he's like laser focused on figuring out where it is. And so you're all looking around a little bit, and those of you who succeeded your check, you see originally looked like a pile of rubble laying off onto the one eastern side of the corridor. It's actually a scattering of bones and stones and broken shells and some detritus and other rotten bits that are laying in this area, and it gives you a kind of chill when you see it,
Like
that
a,
it really confirms that something has purposely left remains and bones and things in this little spot. And as you're noticing that, you hear this hideous laugh come from a woman that appears on the far side of the cavern. And when I say hideous, that is really the impression that you get when you see this sickly green looking woman with these sort of patchy scales and tangled seaweed hair. And as she steps out from the darkness, you see that her eyes are lightly glowing and she's grinning at you. As she steps forward, she sees you, Curza, and she smiles, and it reveals her mouth full of these sharp, just violently sharpened teeth and rotten looking. And she stands forward as you're calling out to her, and she says, "Here I am, sweetie." And she's smiling at you, Curza. She says, "You're a pretty one." And I'll have you all roll initiative here.
Was this in Common or Elvish or something else that we couldn't understand?
Good question. I think, what did you call out in again? Was it?
Elvish, Ancient Dwarven, and Orc.
Yeah, Elvish. She would respond in Elvish. So any of you who would speak Elvish would hear this kind of really grotesque, crude Elvish that she is able to utter. I gotta do this. I gotta add you guys.
Yeah, I can't click my token to.
Yeah, there's no
Nope.
tokens on here. 1 second. I think I'll have to just drop these. Un momento. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. That's the problem. Okay. I am dropping your just tokens on the bottom here, just so that you can click your token. And I'll actually add you guys into the turn order, and you can just edit your turns. But this way we have tokens to use. Thank you. The cauldron doesn't get a turn. Here we go. Okay, yeah, so you can just edit yourself in the turn order if you'd like to whatever you rolled. And I'm going to add our friend, the Sea Hag, to the turn
Great.
order. All right. We got... I'll have the pirates... So who wants to be in charge of Iliac and Quig as far as their rolling and deciding what they do on their turns? Someone want to own one of them or both of them, or do you want to have them stand aside during combat and not engage in it so that they don't risk as much? Or what are your thoughts?
I would, but it's hard to
thought you-
control in my laptop.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem, but I think that we would want them to stay in the back.
Okay,
Basically just
I'll
stay
remove
back.
them, and basically you guys would stand in the way of harm's way in this encounter so that they're not, we don't have to worry about them.
Like
Right, I mean-
protecting the caster's defensive position. How's that
So
sound?
I don't mind taking control of Quig.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's see. So Quig was...
He has at least daggers he could throw at a distance.
Okay. So if you want to, yeah, just, I've got him in turn order now. You can do that. All right. I think we've got everybody rolled, and I'll sort it other way. Okay, so actually Quig is first. So what's Quig's command here?
He's going to attempt to throw some of these daggers he has.
Okay.
Or I'm not sure how many he actually has.
If
At
it doesn't
least
say,
two.
if it doesn't say, otherwise I would assume he has, you could roll like 1d4 plus 1 or something and see how many he ends up with. I'd say he's got more than one for sure. But how
He
many
would
more, I
at
don't
least
know.
have 2 for the rate of fire. We can say he has 3. So
Cool. Alright, so he hit an AC 14. That is a miss, unfortunately.
I'm not sure how rate of fire works. He gets to throw 2, but I don't know if he does if he misses the first one.
Yeah, I don't know of any rule that makes it so he can't take his second if he's do 2 in any
Yeah, I think
one
so.
round. Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe he didn't want to. Let's see what happens to the poor fella. He's a little nervous, I imagine. This is the first action
weak
he's had in
from,
a long time. Suddenly you all
right.
reappeared. You made him swim down into a hole in the water and then attack this thing, and he's been on the bench.
Half-starved.
Yeah, half starved and weak.
You can roll on the crit or weapon fumble table, I'm sorry, and we'll see what happened to Quig. Okay, whatever his other dagger he would have dropped in the process of trying to throw the last dagger, so his next turn he would have to try to recover that before he could throw it again. Okay, Gregor would be up next.
Actually, I'm going to adjust my initiative because I thought we were just rolling for, specific. So I have to add 7 from my short bow because that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, you're good. All right, so the hag will step forward, and let's see, I'm gonna think. I envisioned that Nod was hiding off in the corner, and it seems like Kurza, who I don't have on here for some reason.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Wait,
I'm not
what's-
in there.
He
Yeah, I'm invisible. I'm just not here.
got buried. There he is.
Voice from the
Invading.
darkness. That's all I am.
Oh man, this is
Lee is very small.
it's exciting for me to be in this cluster of maps that I have right now. All right, be out of the tower. All right, there you are. So yeah, I imagine you're the one that was front and center speaking, but everyone would be able to see this thing. Here's my question: who here has the highest charisma? That's my question.
All right.
Can anybody
13.
beat an 11?
15.
I'm gonna look up. I'll look up our NPCs. I don't know that they have real high charismas or not, but I'm gonna double check them.
Quig has 9.
10.
For Bart as well.
I have 13. Somebody's got to have higher than that.
Saharn is 13. Renwick is 12, so you got him beat. What's Baden? Let's see. Baden.
Probably because of the way we rolled our characters, so I just had to end up with a 13 charisma. Yeah.
No? Alright. It's perfect. It's perfect. The Sea Hag
Nod
kinda...
has 13. I don't know how
Oh,
you
you're
want
a
to do that.
13?
Nod
Oh,
actually
this
has
that's
13.
good too, but I'm gonna
All
go
right.
this way. I'm gonna go this way because I think there's competing things here, but she might even almost like for a second act like she recognizes you, Nod. Like she almost like does a double take, like she's seen you before or something. Yeah, but ultimately, her eye is drawn by Saharn. She says, "You're beautiful," and she lunges forward to take a piece of you with her. So she
Aggressively
yeah,
lunges
yeah.
forward.
So
Aggressively.
she and all sea hags hate beauty. And you, when she scans the group, she sees you as being the most beautiful one. And so you are now her first target. So that's how she selected her enemy. And I can't believe a 13 is the highest. It's pretty impressive. So she's going to try to claw and bite at you here. And your AC is what again?
6.
6. All right. So that's
6. Yes.
okay. 6. Okay, so she claws towards you and just swipes and like you're able to lean back and dodge it and you feel the air as she barely misses you, and then as you step to the side she lunges forward and bites and gets a chomp on you and
No.
rips a piece of flesh off of your torso and your side, doing
I never rolled that heel, so
uh
this could take me out.
oh shit. It's only 3
Little
damage.
pretty kill.
It's only 3 damage. I don't know where you were at, but hopefully you had
Oh,
more than 3.
yeah, I've got 6 hit points left. Yes.
Okay.
Right on.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's the next thing. So she takes this chomp out and she's got all your blood now like running down her chin and she's got this big grin on her face. And now that she's stepped forward and towards all of you and you're all seeing her kind of in that close proximity, everybody needs to make a save versus, this is for fear, which would be spell, but it's a fear-based thing, so if you have any bonuses you can add those. Save or spell, yeah, otherwise.
Under info.
Nice. Two succeeded, 1 failed.
Oh no.
Critical fail.
I didn't add a +3. If this is a mind-like attack, I actually 3 bonus for wisdom. I just rolled a straight.
Did everyone roll? We got
First is fear or spell?
it's
I
first
succeeded.
it's a spell effect, but it's a fear effect, so I don't think you have a separate roll for fear, right?
Oh no, yeah.
Oh.
But if you have any bonuses against fear, make sure you add that. Okay, so
That's not surprising.
Well,
What
I
class
failed
is
no
Quig?
matter what.
Kurza, Seharn, and Nod, you are, I mean, this thing is hideous and everything, but you're able to succumb to any fear that it seems to be emitting. But your companions, on the other hand, that would be Gregor and Bart and Griff, are suddenly frightened and must therefore, let's see, so for actually if you want to stay and fight through it, you'll have a -3 to your attack rolls. You can try to stay and fight through it until the spell will wear off. You'll have to try to save versus it every round. But in the case of Bart, since you critically failed, you're actually going to be forced to flee. And the only way that you can flee that you know of is to go back from the way you came. And so Bart would be forced to run back and dive into the water because he feels absolutely frightened down to his core by this thing. Unless you would like to use an astonishing fortune for any of these rolls, guys.
Do
That
it.
goes for
Do
any
it,
of you
do
that
it.
failed. Because
We
-3 could be a
have
bad deal too, but that's up to you.
no. We have 17 minutes.
We'll
Alright.
we'll go a little long since everybody said they'd be okay. We'll go a little bit longer if we can, just to settle up the story at a good spot, if that's okay. So we won't end exactly on the
Yes.
dot like I normally do, but
I guess if you guys are alright, I'll really get
Right,
into
you're the
this.
first. Yeah.
It's not a critical.
it's not a critical, so you can stay and fight. You'll just have the -3 to
Minus
any
3.
attack rolls. And all right, the three of you
Oh,
are frightened but
Yep.
not fleeing, and it is.
Yeah, when guys, I'd like to try to.
Oh yeah,
Up to you
That's
guys.
it's up to
Yep.
the group.
We're left.
Yeah, do it.
All right.
We need that handy dandy short sword.
Mm.
Oh,
Again.
Three left. Okay, so Saharn, you are now the first to act. The hag has gone, and it's your turn.
Iron God's gift to warthogs.
right. None of my
The most
spells.
beautiful of all the warthogs.
Right. You know what? I think I'm just going to attack this thing. It's made me angry.
What are you using here?
I'm just going to stab at it with my spear in hand. Right?
It's a
Stick.
AC
Yeah.
6, so it's not impossible to hit. Unfortunately, that was a. What was that? A 1?
A 4.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay,
I'll
unfortunately.
hit an armor class of 12. It's not 6.
All right, Griff would be next.
Oh, good God! Really?
Oh. Yep.
Ugh.
All right.
When it
I'm
rains, it
re-rolling
pours,
that,
right?
guys. Are we okay?
Guys, okay with that? Looks like it.
Sure.
Okay. Nope.
There's a hit.
Oh,
No fumble and a hit. That's good.
I'm saying that must
Ooh,
be
okay.
devastating.
Big hit. Okay, so yeah, you're able to slice it with your short sword as it's still relishing the Saharn's flesh, and you remind it that it's got its own blood. It will, yeah, definitely take notice of that, and it's Nod's turn next.
Nod will step a little bit closer with his short sword or I'm sorry, not short sword, his long sword. Attempt to give it a swing.
Anything else?
Nope, that maybe taking a step back so he's not in the front.
Sure. Yeah. All right, Renwick's gonna pop forward next and try the same thing, just jumping in and out. I think he's set Immithra's body down when you guys all landed, so he's not. Don't imagine he's carrying it right now or anything, but he is gonna use his short sword as well to try to slice at this thing. And he missed. All right. See, next is Baden. Okay, Baden. Okay, Baden is going to be casting a spell. And
Probably got more spells than all of us combined.
he doesn't have that many left
Wouldn't take much.
memorized right now because of some of the battles you were in right before he got petrified. But he does cast a spell here, and that it unleashes an acid arrow from his hand that does strike this thing, causing some more damage and eating into it a little bit, tearing its scaly flesh, and you see it starting to eat and tear away and burn the creature. And then Kurza would be next.
Well, let's use one of my favorite spells.
Magic missile.
That's right. The last
Hell
one
yeah.
I have.
Sharknado.
How dare you pick Saharn over me? I'm prettier than this man.
What an insult to the rest of you.
There we go. 8 points of damage from 3 magic missiles to
I love the ones, man. It's beautiful.
smack her around.
Let's see.
It's almost the lowest you could have possibly done.
Oh,
Close.
man. Oh, my God. Okay.
I think a lot of our battles start this way, where the die are against us.
Yeah, this thing, it's starting to show some wear from all of the hits that have gone off already on it, and its confidence has been shaken, I think, by the sudden onslaught of hits. Gregor, it's your turn next.
All right, I'll take a shot at it.
We aren't pretty, but we can protect ourselves mostly.
Mm.
We don't have to kill it, right? If it's looking
It just looks
doubtful.
Yeah, it just looks bloodied right now. It doesn't look like it's on death's door, but it's showing some signs that you're making progress.
What's it doing down here?
Oh, I don't have it. Wait, no, there it is.
Might be information too. If we don't kill it, just convince it to
Can I take my second shot?
do away.
Okay.
Right? The
Yeah.
purple has 2.
Yeah. Oh, there's
Damn it.
those ones.
Oh.
Those
That's
ones
why.
are just sneaking. I don't
Still
see a
got
lot
it.
of
We still got
20s today.
Two astonishing fortunes.
We do. If you want to use it, I will warn you though that this hag has some
No.
nasty
Yeah.
stuff.
In
Save,
case
save
she
'em.
gets in
Yeah.
trouble.
All right, so Bart's next. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bart was casting Spiritual Hammer, directing it at the hag.
Nice, nice.
Let's
Excellent.
see.
That's good. Oh my God. Okay.
Nope.
Unfortunately,
Alright, so
the spirit
We
was
could
not
shut it down,
true
though.
this time.
Do you have a slot open to cast a hold, Bart, or something?
I could try a hold, yeah.
Yeah, I think I might try that next time too. If this thing
I was looking at that.
becomes a threat.
I guess, would the hag count as a humanoid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any,
It does
any
list out.
any humanoid creature.
Quig, we're in the next round. We're in the second round here. You
Quig.
he dropped his dagger last
Yeah,
time.
he would
and
have
he
to.
threw the other 2, so you'd have to spend a moment. You could just pick it up and throw it. You get 2 attacks in a turn, so if you'd like to pick it up and throw it, you can do that in this turn.
He'll probably pick it up and hold on to it because that's his
Blast. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Wait, he should actually have melee weapons, a short sword, a dagger. Yeah, okay. I guess he could throw it. He still has other melee weapons.
okay.
Is this like a Sea Hag type thing? Something,
Yes. Yes.
I would definitely recognize. Yeah, well, I'm gonna just scream out.
Oh yeah,
cut it.
definitely. Saharn would have strong knowledge of what these things are capable of, and one of the things that you would know of, Saharn, is that these have the ability to kill on sight with a deadly glance.
We need to shut it down, Bart.
But it's actually its turn right now, and it's got something else up its sleeve right now that it's going to do instead. And so it takes a step backward towards its cauldron and picks up its cauldron and throws the cauldron down, smashing it on the ground in front of her and exploding a bunch of fire out of it towards your direction. So everybody is going to need to make a save versus breath weapon as this thing smashes and it fills the room with this magical fire. And if you have fire resistance, you can add that to your rolls.
Hey, what does the fire resistance ring?
It won't add to your save, it'll add to your damage reduction. So just remind me when we do damage if you fail.
Alrighty.
Oh boy. This isn't good.
Oh,
This is not
yeah.
good. This is very not good.
I'm not seeing anyone else's rolls, just FYI.
Okay, I'm seeing them all,
Breath
and they've
weapon, right?
all failed so far. No one has made this.
We've all.
Great. Breath weapon is a particularly bad.
Poor
I
Saharn,
should have.
he's
I
on the
get a
edge.
feeling I should have cast that heal
Let's see,
back
let's see.
a half hour
So,
ago.
Nod, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That was the wrong
Let's
one.
see.
I'm not sure where Homeboy's
Well, no, I
getting all those
got your
modifiers either.
I got your first one. So you Nod saved, but then Griff failed, Gregor failed, Bart failed, Saharn failed, Quig passed. Right, that's who you were rolling for, was for Quig.
It was versus
And
spell, but he still rolled.
he rolled
No,
a-
he has a 19 for situational or for his modifier for some reason.
Oh, okay, that's not right. So he would have failed because he had a 4.
Okay.
He rolled a 4. So for some reason I haven't looked at those sheets. I don't know what's really in there.
I updated. I gave him level 2 rogue. I figure that's what he would be as a
Okay.
pirate.
Okay. I'll give you guys the results of this, and then you can decide if you still want to use Astonishing Fortune, if any of you want to use that. Because everyone who has failed is going to take full damage here.
I'm
What's
probably
the-
going down.
Ouch.
Yeah, I only had 6 hit points before
I was
whatever
gonna say,
this.
Sahar, you may want to. I don't know what your save is and what the chances are, but you may need it, or we may
may-
need it just to not die.
We
Nice.
may. Let's have the judges ruling.
Oh, yeah. So, for those of you who failed, it is 13 damage.
Oof.
I need to use a roll, guys. I'm out.
You better use a roll because you're
Do
the only
it.
one who has one of the only two that has heal. You and Adam.
I'm only going to have one healing spell left, but it's going
Yeah.
to be better than nothing.
Do we use the astonishing fortune for you to be at
Oh, you passed it.
conscious but not dead? Oh, did he?
No,
not
yeah,
dead,
you
right
know, he
here,
rolled it.
exactly.
You made a great point. That Tim makes a good point there. You can spend your astonishing fortune just to stabilize, right? To not be dead, but to be basically at 0 hit points. So you don't have to re-roll it. It's a way of giving yourself like a safeguard. But in this case, you re-rolled it and you succeeded. So in this case, you won't take the full
I feel good.
damage. So
Yeah, but even half damage.
yeah, you're gonna
Still
have
kill him.
damage, which is we'll do 6, which
It'll
is
still
gonna
be
drop
under.
you to 0.
Yeah.
Oh.
Either
You
way,
might as well just take the.
it doesn't
Might
matter.
as well just
Right.
use it for
Right.
stabilization and be done with it.
Oh, I just fainted. It's enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So now,
Good. We've
so
got
you,
one left.
yeah, you would be stabilized with 1 hit point because you spent, yeah, because you spent your astonishing fortune, and we'll just say that you stabilized. So you would have 1 hit point. You are alive, but you guys
Not
only have
unconscious.
1 astonishing fortune left, and you still have a Sea Hag to deal with. Harn, you're next.
Will we take 13?
13 for those of you that failed. Everyone's gonna take 13, and for Nod, and Nod's the only one that passed. He took 6. Harn technically passed, but. So, Saharn, it's your turn. You are still alive. You are hanging on by a thread.
Hey, she likes you, man.
Thanks to fortune.
Before we go too much farther, I have this amulet from the coral chest. I don't know what it does, but I'm wearing it.
You're wearing it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an amulet of water breathing. You were like
Okay.
Still don't know
breathing
what it
real
does.
easy under the water. In fact, you wouldn't have known. Yeah, you wouldn't have known that until you were underwater, and then maybe you would have been able to discover that, even though you had the effect of Bart's spell. I'd say that you would have figured it out along the way since you were underwater for several minutes. Okay, what's Harn's?
The ring of fire resistance gives me a +4 bonus to die rolls versus breath weapons, fireballs, flame strikes,
Oh yeah, then you should have passed.
and -2 damage per die.
Okay, so you should have passed, and then you should have got 4 damage. Yeah,
Okay,
not 13. Yeah.
that's quite different.
Yeah, that's a lot different. I meant to
Thank God.
mention if you have any fire resistance, let me know if it's altering your save. Most of the time it doesn't, but you do have that. Saharn, what would you like to do here?
Okay. I'm choosing
Heal.
not to save myself. No. This thing can do a lot worse, right? I know this thing could tear us up, right? That's a lot worse it can do. Whatever.
You know it for 100% that this thing has a deadly glance.
I'm just going to scream out to Bart, we have to ensnare it. And I'm going to cast the last spell slot I have and pray and try to do a whole person on this. Shut it down. None of my attempts this whole campaign so far have ever worked, right? Everything. She has a -2 penalty. It's a wisdom, and she has a -2 penalty because I'm casting it on a single target.
For 5 or more rounds.
Yep. Casting time of 5. And if successful, it should last 8 minutes, 8 rounds.
All right, so here's the deal. She has a 50% magic resistance. Okay?
I hate this game.
So I'm going to let you roll it. I'm going to let you roll it. I don't want to roll it. I do not want to roll it. I don't want to be the reason why this doesn't. So if you want to roll, so 1 through 50 would be immune to. So if you roll 51 or higher, then she would.
All right, I've got the dice
she'll have,
roller up.
This is just to see if it even affects her first. This is like even before she does a save or anything. So you can roll a percentile.
And I use the fudge button.
Is there a fudge button?
There is a fudge button on my
Oh,
dice roller.
okay. So, unfortunately, that's going to mean
No.
that her resistance would block it because she's got 50%. So, she won't even have to try to save against that unless you want to use your last astonishing fortune to see if it does affect her. But again, that's
No.
okay.
I think we should save that for something, in case something dire happens to somebody else, and Bart maybe can do
I think
something.
that's a wise move. Okay.
All right.
Griff.
I'm backing off. That's the ending of my turn by backing off. To bind my wounds or something.
Am I still at -3 to hit?
You can roll. I'm sorry. You have. If you were a -3 to hit, you need to roll a save versus spell to try to shake that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. AC 6.
AC 6. Now without the -3. Ah, come on, man.
With war? Oh,
Oh, there we go. You wanna?
-7.
Let's go. Let's see the crit hit on this thing.
Hit.
Come on. Times 3
Damage.
triple.
Damage.
Oh, let's see the damage roll
Alright.
is gonna be big.
Victim is knocked out and his move is permanently halved.
8 times 3. Okay. All right.
Who needs spells to shut an opponent down when you have that?
Oh
many
man,
arrows?
so this thing, Griff, you basically do exactly as this says with that short sword of yours that must have a 95% hit rate, and you get a nasty chop on this thing's leg, basically almost chopping it through, but more like breaking it on the way through as well. So it falls over, sitting on its own leg that's now twisted in half and cut and bleeding. It is
Okay.
still alive. It's looking up at you all, but it is not looking good. So it's not got a lot going on here, but it's still got some life force. However, looks like it's going to have a lot of serious problems going forward here. It is Nod's turn next after that collapse of the hag.
Any bonuses for it being prone or anything?
Sure, yeah. You can have +3 to hit. Hit.
Sure.
This would be the. Oh, all right. Nod, how did you end the hag?
The icing on the cake. Maybe this time I'll be going for one of the arms and maybe curl towards the inside of her torso instead.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. So as you do that and you see this kind of, it was like attempting to try to get its death glare in place as he did this, and suddenly its death glare just turned to its eyes rolling back in its head and its body like withering on the end of your weapon on your longsword. It's just like shriveling up and gets to the point that it just turns into a dried out pile of seaweed that's just laying there. And so it is dead and gone.
Warrior team.
Let you search the area now that you've cleared it. Unfortunately, the cauldron was actually a very nice item. It had some value, but now it's been destroyed. However, you do find a pearl necklace that is laying amongst the pile of, actually the hag itself was carrying it, and in the pile of bones and other things that you see, there is a scroll. And there is, let's see, how many is this? A total of 255 gold pieces. Other than that, the room seems to be uninhabited now, and Nod's sense of smell is starting to feel safer, as if there's nothing he recognizes that seems odd now. Cleared the threat and secured the area, and we could probably call it here. This might be a good spot to stop. Essentially, Nod's memory at this point would be coming back to him, that just through the corridor, as you pass, you're going to enter his prior domain. And I wonder if Nod would say anything to the party about any of that because he may or may not have ideas of what lies ahead.
He definitely would recommend that we rest before we move forward. Maybe he'd be more willing to talk.
Thinking we're in an underground cavern, right?
Yeah.
And how many ways out of here? Is it that one corridor? And
There's-
then
well-
back the way we came?
Yeah.
Bart come up.
Had avoided it through his reroll. He avoided fleeing, so he didn't have to flee. He was able
I'm
to
rolling-
stay and fight.
I'm rolling my final heal, and then I suggest we just set up camp here. Our NPCs are weakened and out of food, and
Yeah.
even
How?
if we need to could we consider this a wilderness? Is what I'm asking, and maybe camp for a day or two.
I think you could certainly camp for a full day because.
I have underground survival.
Yeah, you could certainly camp for the whole day, and I think we should do that now. I'd like to process the healing and the everything before we end the session. If you want to, I'll roll for your watch order and see if anything happens, but otherwise, if you all want to go ahead and process what your night's rest would mean for you, go ahead and boost yourselves by your Constitution bonus +1 just for resting. If you're doing other healing and stuff, let's go through it and do that.
Does anybody have medicine and herbalism? Because I think that
Yes.
adds bonuses to.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Yep,
Bart,
I do.
Bart's got it as well.
Yeah, good call.
Plus, we grabbed some. Didn't we grab before the session? I missed some moss or something for healing out of that one of those
We had all
rooms.
kinds of.
Before the moss you grabbed tonight, that was the water breathing. Never mind.
There was one other moss we
Oh.
found. It was called blood moss, and if you were dying, you could apply it bleeding out. It would cauterize wounds to
Right.
stay you or.
Yeah,
Right,
you
we
could have used that.
one-
Yeah,
Party treasure. Yeah.
you could have used that on Saharn right there if he hadn't, if he needed it, if he had needed it. But yeah,
If we take this in stages, like I use my last spell plus the 1 point of resting, I recoup. Still down.
I think with
15.
medicine and herbalism, you get. I think it's 3 for having both, and then it's the 1 for the long rest, and then your constitution. So everybody should at least get 4, I believe.
So it's 4 plus your constitution.
no, it would be. I thought it would be.
If I'm correct, I think if you have herbalism and medicine, you get +1 for having medicine. But if you have herbalism and medicine, it's +3.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, fine with that. If you guys want to just roll those checks to make sure that you pass your herbalism and medicine or whatever, I think that's a good way to do it. It gives you the party more healing every time you rest. So if someone wants to roll herbalism and healing or whatever, we'll just use those checks across the whole group, and then everyone would get the 4 from overnight rest. That's a success. Success. Okay. So yeah, so everybody will have 4 plus your con for the night's rest. During the night, Renwick reports to you that he couldn't help himself but to snoop around a little bit, and that he certainly heard footsteps coming from ahead, but they never got any closer and they turned and left. So that might be the only thing in the morning that you would hear that would be a little bit disconcerting, but nothing interrupted your rest, and everybody was able to get their replenishment. Anybody casting any
So
heals
what-
or anything? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
so I did my survival. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see it. Did my underground survival. What I wanted to do was make sure the area was secure, and then try to set up some like little snares and stuff like that at the.
Yeah, you would have been able to do that, and these footsteps would have been beyond that, in the corridor that's beyond this immediate cavern. It looks like it's less raw and gets like into a carved cavern ahead of you in a few feet. You were able to trap this area, and nothing set off your traps.
I'd probably throw out as we're resting, especially more than
Oh,
rest session. I'd rather wyvern wash out.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
we're going to stay here for 1 full day, so we're
Okay.
technically going to have
So
1
2
more
nights
rest.
rest. I got you.
I'm at 18 out of 39.
The
So.
guarded area. So where are you putting
And
the
you-
wyvern, Bart? Where do you want to put that at?
Area of effect, 10-foot radius. I'm assuming we're gonna set up at least a camp area here.
Yeah. Do you want
To
it? Do you want it to
rest.
watch like
Cavern.
the way you came, the waterway, or the way ahead?
Good question.
So I can, if I trap the choke point, then maybe you can watch the water, make sure nothing comes swimming up behind us, like those three
Sure.
things that we're hiding in.
Yeah, that'd fit
That
the
way we got
circumference
kind
of
both ways.
the entryway with the water anyways, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll throw Wyvern Watch back towards the water.
Cool. All right. So you've got that covered, and yeah, this basically I'll just have a rolling watch check for you guys, so you can go ahead and do a second day. Is there anything else though you're casting? I imagine you're doing healing and stuff this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got 5 cure lights if on the first day that I can toss out to.
I have 4. And did you just say Griff is down, Tim? You had 18.
18 out of 39.
Where's your heals? I have 1 slot left.
I
I'm
don't know
only
who
missing
else.
3 points, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, Nod's down 23.
I
If
just
we
rolled.
stay one more night, I'll be fine.
Did you see the 12 points in healing, Tim?
I just now saw that, so
All right, these are my heals. Whoever wants to pick them up.
Oh. Couple ones in there. But
Not
there's a 14
yeah.
anyway. Still good. 5d8.
And you,
those are all you. I'm at 30 out of 39, guys.
Okay, so Griff's
Where's
looking
Gregor?
strong.
All right.
Yeah, how's Gregor doing overall?
He's got
3.
oh, does he need heals?
yeah, sure.
Take at least the last
Well,
4.
he's
17.
gotta have
His
got-
max is 17.
Yeah, I was gonna say he would have got 4 last night, so
And everyone's going to get 1 night rest still to come.
then
after
yeah,
we
4
fail.
more.
We need to do.
Yeah, so if you're all within 4, we should be good.
Yeah, give yourself
Yeah, I get
the
another.
4 for the second night, and I'll.
Okay, so 8.
Okay, the first
your
day
con.
there, can I cast a detect magic on some of the stuff we found? The pearl necklace, the scroll. What is the scroll?
Yeah, you can definitely spend time investigating all those. If you want to go ahead and roll to see, just let me know which thing you're rolling for, and then make the roll.
It's just the detect magic, yes or no?
Which one? Okay, so what do you want to check? I'm sorry.
Both the pearl necklace, scroll.
The pearl necklace is
Anything
not
else?
magical. The scroll is.
I'll show him the Varodis' big blue gem
Oh yeah, that too, and the
It-
wand.
and the wand.
They're both magical.
Okay, can I get a school out of those?
The
Arcane or divine?
the gem is alteration, and the wand is what is the wand? Evocation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just give
Hmm.
Kurza the wand and kind of just play with the shiny blue gem.
Take
Okay.
the pearl necklace too, because that could be useful.
Yeah, pearls, right?
Pearls
Kurza?
are pearls are meaningful for his identifications. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like
I
your
got.
You-
money in the bank there.
Y'all should split up Immithra's stuff. The chainmail should go to Kurza.
Yeah. You got
Griff
a
should
bunch
get her
of
sword.
rings.
That's a good
Wow.
point.
Actually-
You could distribute her things so that they're benefiting the group until you figure out what her future is. Yeah, that's a good point.
The ring of sustenance would be good on Nod. You wouldn't have to
Uh-huh.
feed him as much.
Yep. And then there's a ring of fire resistance.
Okay, so Nod will take the sustenance ring.
And maybe
Sounds. Anyone want the ring of fire resistance? Anyone
what
have
is
a?
it? What was the short sword?
It's a short sword +1/+3 versus shape changers.
Dual wield the
Um,
short swords, you'll be unstoppable.
I could also do
But
an
an
identify while we're
abjuration-
here too.
Sorry, I
said,
didn't.
I've got an unidentified potion that detect magic, so it was abjuration.
Okay, what have we got that needs to be identified? You've got her potion, the wand, the gem.
There is a full plate mail that is magic from the undead paladin at the top floor. I think his two-handed sword was also magical. the big blue gem.
Let's go with the stuff we might actually be able to use. So
what was
I got
the
a 50-50 shot. So
Yeah, let me know just as you fire off which one, and I'll let you know.
let's go with the big glowy gem.
Okay.
Figures. The
We have one
wand.
more fortune. We have one more fortune.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, we
let's
got one left.
let's redo that fortune. Yeah,
Okay.
Well-
On the gem. Okay.
on the gem.
Got it.
Ah, that was worthwhile.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a normal gem.
it's
With a light spell. With a light spell on it.
it's a
Yeah,
it's a really well crafted gem.
gem of greenness.
Find out it's flawed and cracked.
Go ahead and roll the other checks while I'm looking this up here.
was the
So,
harmonic crystal that I had magical also?
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is
The
magical.
harmonic crystal then. And not so much. How about the wand?
It's Billy Joel's song.
The wand is. Oh, you failed that one.
Nose.
It's just a stick.
Just a
Yeah.
fancy stick. Just a fancy little stick.
We got two more.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Two
I
more
rolled-
rolls.
I rolled my last heal spell and got an 8 again.
And who's that for?
Myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, or I'm at 37 out of 39.
And so with
After
the
that,
okay, I'll be full. And
And,
got
this-
I think Bart still has a heal or two left, right?
Second day, I've got 4 left. I did take one for myself.
Yeah.
So who?
Gregor needs to get some of that equipment too. Does he have a magic weapon?
The
Trident?
trident, I don't think is.
The trident is not magical. No.
He
No.
may want to keep that short. Is he proficient?
I don't think so.
I have a thought for you, Jamie.
What's that?
The necklace of pearls. It will become important to find out how many pearls there are.
He's gonna go
You're not
back to
wrong.
being-
Let's see. I'm gonna say there's a minimum 10 on it. So let's say. How about you roll a 10d4?
ND4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can ignore that one.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Gregor's gonna go back to being a hireling. I just really wanted to see the end of the tower.
There you go. 27.
Nice. Okay. 27 pearls then.
Wow.
Or they make a motive?
But
what,
they that would say that they will range in size, Chris. So if you want to roll, because you need to consume like a certain amount of value of
100 gold,
pearl,
yeah.
right? So you could consume multiple less valued pearls to equate to the value of what you need to do in order to cast the spell. So let's just call it 20. So 20
Here's
20
your-
uses, if you will, of it, if that makes sense. The
That's fine.
Put it
I got no
with
problems
your,
with that.
Your library that's in your belt.
okay.
Okay, so 20 plus what we have minus the one I used. So 35. We have 2 more things we can identify today.
Huh. All right.
What else? What else do we want to identify, I guess is my question.
Yeah, if you want to rattle off the gem stuff, I'll note it down as well.
Yeah, it is a gem of seeing.
Ooh.
I'll read this to you. This finely cut and polished stone is indistinguishable from ordinary jewels, although a detect magic will reveal its enchantment. When gazed through, the gem of seeing enables the user to detect all hidden, illusionary, invisible, astral, ethereal, or out-of-phase things within the viewing range.
Wow. That's
And
pretty powerful.
The viewing range is 300 feet. 100 feet if... Oh, there's a couple conditions, but it's like 100 to 300 feet it can be used if you have a clear view. Yeah, I think the
Or
gem.
you have that, right?
Who's carrying the gem? Yeah, who's gonna carry the gem?
I think Bart said he had it.
Okay.
The
Which is pretty cool for a Priest of Lyra to have, actually.
the
So I think
harmonic
that-
crystal or the giant?
Yes,
the
yeah, Bart had the harmonic.
Oh, he has the
gem.
harmonic.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have
yeah,
the
I've got
harmonic
the
crystal.
harmonic crystal.
Not had it in his inventory, but he's definitely willing to give it to other people.
So the harmonic crystal will do, when activated, the harmonic crystal will cast the sleep spell. So it can be used by basically anybody to cast the sleep spell once per day.
What does that?
The harmonic crystal.
Oh,
It casts sleep
Cloud
once per day.
control.
Does that have as caster level on it at all, or
What's that? Say again?
does it have a per caster level?
I think it's just gonna cast as a, what level is it? Because it would be 8th level. As an 8th level caster would cast.
very cool.
I can hold on to it unless somebody else really wants it. I'm not.
Who
I
can
think-
actually wear this
I mean,
plate mail?
Both the crystals are kind of, or the gem and the crystal are both kind of up your alley, but
Yeah.
whoever wants to carry them, that's a different question.
Can anybody actually wear these plates of this plate mail?
No interest in it.
Tim, Brandon?
Nope.
You could
No.
give it to Gregor.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's him.
do that.
And don't forget, Kurza, you should put that elven chain on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. The
Yeah, that's
thing
a
that
good
allows
call.
you to wear it and still cast.
I think it's full
That's cool.
plate mail from Undead Paladin top tower floor.
4 sets of plate mail
that
from
was
the
the
Helm
Death Knight.
Horrors.
The Helmed Horror plate mail was not magical.
Oh,
I think
okay.
you detected
Right.
magic on those.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
They were just very
full sets
nicely
of
made,
mail.
very expensive pieces more than anything.
Okay, any magical armor then? Or no?
Yes, there was the one full plate mail from Undead Paladin top
Full-
floor.
yeah,
Okay.
from the Death Knight.
It has
And
been
his sword.
identified.
Yeah, so that is a +2 plate mail.
Plate mail
Nice.
plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we need that we can use to be
No, but I was looking, the
Yeah.
gem of seeing that you have, in appearance it looks like it's like a $5,000 or gold piece gem, but so appraisal value of it, if you were just appraising it on its gem alone, looks like a nice valuable gem, but what it's capable of doing is a lot more powerful. What else? Any other items that you're...
If you have one left, there's the two-handed sword from the Undead Paladin on the top floor.
okay?
Oh yeah.
Handed sword. It is a +1, +2 versus magic using creatures. Yeah, two-handed sword +1, and then +2 versus magic creatures, or magic users. I should just call it that.
Gregor can use the full plate mail. We should definitely give him that if he can use it.
That was the sword. Yeah, that was the sword.
That was the
The
sword, but
plate
full
mail.
plate mail is like
yeah.
+2, which is still probably better
Right.
than anything we have.
That's an AC 0, right?
Just the full plate mail would be AC 0. With the +2, would be like -2.
Yeah. Can Gregor
So
wear
Gregor
that,
can
Molly?
wear it.
No, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Can Gregor wear
Full
plate
plate.
mail?
What's up?
Because we have a suit of full plate
Yeah,
mail plus
yeah, he's
2.
a fighter.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What did
man.
you say?
So his
He's clanking
AC,
around behind us.
yeah, his AC would become -2.
Oh, cool.
We could use him.
Yeah, that's helpful. Pretty helpful. It
He's our
went from a
huge
5,
shield.
yeah, to a -2.
If we ever have to run, he's got a great armor class. We'll just pin the NBC in the danger zone
I don't
and
know
take
why
off.
I'm having trouble opening.
I think it should give all your saving throws +2 as well.
Gregor's sheet isn't opening.
I think you're right, Adam. Yeah.
Anyone else? Did it open for anyone else?
It popped up.
Yeah,
Yep.
it did. And just
Yep,
blocked
it
my
did.
You're up.
17.
Okay, so it's not just me.
It's roll 20 is just acting goofy, but I can move his AC right now, so he'll be -2. And I'll change his armor type to plate mail +2.
What's Gregor's?
He's got a 17 max. And right now, looks like an 8 on the character sheet.
So you said this was a mithril chain shirt?
It's elven chain mail.
Yeah,
Alright.
and it allows you to be able to cast and still wear chain.
Yeah. So it's AC 5 on its own. And
So would the bracers increase that?
yes, it would
Okay.
combine with the bracer. Yeah. So I think we've gone through the whole. I know there might be other inventory questions and things you wanted to check, but I think we've gone through most of what you had been curious about. Is everyone healed up? Have you cast all your heals and everything too?
Yeah.
So yeah, so the second night would have happened as well.
Right.
So we would have gotten the +4 from
4.
that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus your con.
Yeah, if anybody needs more, I've got a few left.
Any of the NPCs?
I think Gregor was fairly low.
Yeah.
I think everybody else should have healed up. Dodd's like missing.
Yeah, your
I'm
NPCs are good.
37.
Yeah,
Not sure about Baden.
Baden
or-
is
yeah,
good. Renwick is close. He's like 7 away. So he's not that far away.
Where's Gregor at, Molly? What-
Gregor was at 8 out of, so probably what, you were at 12 out of 17, I think. So yeah, I could use 5 more. Gregor's,
We got at least 8 total. He was at
he should have been at 12 after the second night, and then down by whatever that is, 5. Yeah.
Unless we consider Bart cast a spell on him before the second night. You had a slot left.
Oh yeah, you wanna?
I
Oh, you-
used them all
Oh, that's
the-
right.
Oh, did you?
before
Did
the
you?
second
Okay.
night, but I've got 4 left right now. I can throw one of those out.
Yeah, I think now with the new makeup, Gregor is the most squishy.
There's
The
2 for Gregor.
Okay. The pirates are a little squishy as well. So Gregor and the pirates are your weakest links right now that you'd want to protect until they accelerate. And Gregor will now level up much faster. And there's a lot of other new fun things ahead. So I'm looking forward to the change of scenery. Hopefully you are as well. I'm glad to be out of the tower. And we'll see what lies ahead in 2 weeks.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, thank
Very
you all.
cool.
Awesome.
All right.
Right.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you all.
everybody.
Take care.
Nice
Thank
seeing
you.
Talk
y'all.
to you
We're
later.
doing this for you.
See y'all.
Mhm.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye-bye.
Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.